Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket.
Gone.
Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pasco, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket.
Since 2011, only one team has gone through from the eliminator to win the IPL. But it was in 2016 when the Sunrisers of Hyderabad claimed their only IPL title. Both the Sunrisers and the RCB and the challengers, Royal Challengers of Bangalore arrive here today with 14 points, but achieved in very contrasting fashion. The Sunrisers have just smashed the Mumbai Indians by 10 wickets and are riding in on 3 straight wins. The Royal Challengers have limped here on the back of 4 defeats and squeeze in after taking the game just deep enough against the Delhi Capitals to break the hearts of Owen Morgan's Knight Riders. Now, prior to the discovery of the oil fields, pearl trading and pearl diving was the major industry in Abu Dhabi, where we are today. Which of today's teams will have IPL jewels within their grasp, and who will be left empty-handed and gasping for air? Welcome to Guerrilla Cricket. I am Tony Bishop, and I'm here with Nestle Boy, who will be guiding you through your tweets and other social media messages. Hello, Nestlers.
Hello. Hope you're all well. Just breaking news: Joe Biden has just gone ahead in Pennsylvania for the first time.
And with him, the most recognised constellation of the northern sky, the Great Bear, known in Hindu, I believe, as Saptarshi.
Saptarshi, that'll do. Hopefully this game isn't septic. I don't know about that, you know. I want a good game today. I don't want no bullshit like yesterday. And like most of the games I've watched, actually. But a bit of excitement would do me getting to the end of this game.
Well, I'm sure.
We'll try.
The players will do what they can do. Our listeners and followers and fans will do what they can do. And we shall see. But let's come back down to earth with news of the team and toss. And the toss has been won by the Sunrisers, who will field. Very quick decision to field from David Warner. He knows that RCB have not just lost their last 4, they lost them all batting first. So he's quite happy to have Virat Kohli and his men in. Here are the teams. For the Royal Challengers Bangalore, David Padikkal, Aaron Finch, Virat Kohli, captain of course, AB de Villiers, Shivam Dubey, Moeen Ali. Washington Sundar does make it into the team, so we can get in plenty of Washington puns whilst we still can. Navdeep Sani, Adam Zampa, Mohammad Siraj and Yuzvendra Chahal. RCB, by the way, said they would have bowled first as well. Yes, we know why. Chris Morris, of course, is out. For the Sunrisers, David Warner, Srivat Goswami as wicketkeeper. So there's a change there. Manish Pandey, Kane Williamson, Priyam Garg, Jason Holder, Abdul Samad, Rashid Khan, Shabaz Nadeem, Sandeep Sharma and Tinata Janda. So, gentlemen, what do we make of today? Bear, let me ask you first.
Well, I've not seen... I mean, I saw a bit of RCB at the beginning. I haven't really seen... Cody's not lit this tournament alight as far as I can figure out. Finch is a good hitter. Padikkal looked good at the beginning of the tournament. I don't know how he's fared since, really. Obviously, de Villiers. I mean, they look, on paper, a pretty strong side. Bowling, maybe... you'd probably say... Sunrisers probably have a better bowling attack, certainly for the middle of the game, with Rashid Khan has obviously been stellar this tournament.
Well, there's not much to choose between them. If you look at the form in this IPL, the Sunrisers beat RCB by 5 wickets in Sharjah, but RCB had beaten them by 10 runs in Dubai. So they kind of stand 1 each as far as this tournament goes. I mean, one of the things, Nestle, I think it is you can look at, of course, is whilst they finished 3rd and 4th, the Sunrisers, I think I'm right in saying, have a vastly superior run rate.
They do.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the RCB squad. Dale Staines played 3 matches.
Yeah, he's a bit... I'm sorry to say, but Dale was great. And whilst he looks fiery and all that, I'm not sure he plays enough at the moment to get the rhythm that he requires. And he's getting on and he's constantly injured. So,
I mean, they've, Chahal, AB, Aaron Finch, Kohli, Chris Morris. Is Moeen Ali playing today?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of runs in that order, it has to be said. But didn't they collapse horribly the other day? Is that correct? Tony, you know more about this stuff than me.
Indeed, they did. They did. I
mean, you've
both been watching too much politics. I'll tell you for why, because I asked a specific question and you both went on to answer a completely different one.
Well, that's our future. Our future careers are in government.
So well done on that score. We were discussing the vastly superior run rate.
Well, no, that's where it came off. I mean, well, that's what I mean. My point is that you look at the batting in RCB and you'd say, well, theirs is... I mean, to be fair, I mean, Davey Warner scored a lot of runs. Johnny Bairstow scored a fair few. Rinnavan Sahar's batted pretty well latterly in the tournament as well. Kane Williamson is a class bat. So there's some good batting there. And they've been doing the business recently, and they've been winning games, so their net run rate will go up. I mean, the thing is, they lost early, didn't they, and then caught up at the end.
This is it. I mean, if you look at current form, I mean, one team on the back of 3 wins, one team on the back of 4 defeats. Not only that, the team on the back of 4 defeats has lost them all batting first. And what are they doing here? Batting first.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of indicators that might favour the Sunrisers today, but you just never know. That's the beauty of it.
You bring up run rate. It's set to 0. It's irrelevant now, isn't it?
Well, it is. It is a complete reset.
It's a stat at the but now it's a one-off match, and it's I just looking at the squads. I just you think, well, surely
Well, Virat Kohli's opening, we can tell you that.
He must be opening with Padikal, mustn't he?
I think it will be Padikal.
So we're Finch coming in at 3. That's a bit weird.
5,872 IPL runs for Virat Kohli. And you are absolutely right there, Devdutt Padikal. 15 matches, 472 runs, so quite a discrepancy in total run contribution to the IPL tournament between the two of them.
But he's a bit of a hitter. Let's have some jingles. This
Let's do it.
In the back.
The Indian says signals that they'll knock us on her ass. The pitches are prepared without a sign of grass. The score is mounting quickly as they've got a talking lead. We don't mind the challenges of being we don't need. He lets loose all his shots when the bowlers are fatigued. And we wait to find the match instead, and our doom is for rat. And Davey Warner rides around and says, Kohli's the cat, Kohli's the cat.
You know what? I'm going to take a punt here. I'm going to find
Share
out.
it.
Well, I'm just thinking.
People may wish to do.
Kohli gets bugger all here, right? Wonder what is. But you'll probably get about 3-1 that he's under 10. It just might be a fun bet to have. Where's his runs?
Oh, that's the Bears.
Virat Kohli runs.
Go to our website. Sign up to. Go to the banner for Betway. Go to use that link, and if you sign up for an account, you will help the show, and you can place bets at all kinds of good odds. The first ball is bowled, and it's dabbed away to point, and there is no run.
Well,
solid, predictable start. Sandeep, the bowler.
That was really quite boring. They don't have a really low score from them. They've got under 25.5 at 5-4, which isn't too bad. Right, in this kind of game, let's have some more jingles. The bowler.
Who's coming up to bowl? When in the auction fairly cheap.
Sandeep in again, flicked nicely by Virat Kohli away to mid-wicket, will get a single. So the RCBs are off and running in their eliminator innings. Need to set a total. They haven't done that particularly well in their last 4 games, remember.
Let's have the final jingle for the other opener. It's Padikal.
It is Padikal.
Devdutt Padikal, his work is seminal. In the realm of abstract law, you'll never see him overruled.
Do you think Bairstow's had his IPL, whether they get through or not?
Well, I was going to say it was going to depend on the result today.
Well, no, you think Ridham and Saha.
If they win, I suspect they'd be more inclined to keep to a winning team. So that might mean, yes, Padikal is off and running. First ball, flicked away to mid-wicket, gets himself a single. So it's not a spectacular start by any manner of means, but an effective one. 2 off the first 3 deliveries. Lights shining brightly in the Sheikh Zayed Stadium as we reach very much the sharp end of IPL 2020. This the eliminator, remember, of course. There's no second chance for the loser today. Winners go on to play the losers of yesterday's game, which was, of course, the Delhi Capitals. That one's worked nicely down to deep backward square. Rashid Khan does the fielding. Quite often I've noticed he does that 3 hops before he releases a throw as well. So
like
there'll be 2 more to the
javelin.
score. Sorry, Bear?
I said a bit like throwing a javelin.
Yeah,
He takes a run
he
out.
fielded it. Excellent piece of fielding.
He's a great fielder, actually, Rashid Khan.
He is a really good fielder. Well, he's a more than capable batsman, and of course he's an absolute wizard with the ball in his hand. So he's box office. Sussex has been, I'm sure, delighted to have had his services. That's steered to backward point. There's no run by Virat Kohli. 3 for him, 1 for Padikal. 4 without loss, and we have 1 ball left of this first over from Sandeep, trying to work out which end he's bowling from here at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium.
Now Deem's the other spinner, isn't he? He was quite good the other day too. Tandem.
In comes Sandeep, steered down to third man. There is a third man. They take 1, they think about 2, they won't. It concludes Sandeep's over. He's gone for fairly regulation 5, all scored in 1s and 2s. And Nestlers, who has joined us today?
Well, Leia, she doesn't agree with Andy's criticism of the IPL playoff system and how second place gets screwed over. Brian Barry says, good day, good morrow, cricket nerds. The most legendary run trace in Pennsylvania history since the Philadelphians beat the Aussies in 1892 has occurred. Ooh. Sweet baby Jesus.
What was that? Say again? Say again, Nestle? I was zoning out.
Good day and good morrow, cricket nerds. The most legendary run trace in Pennsylvania history since the Philadelphians beat the Aussies in 1892 has occurred. Sweet baby Jesus.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Warren wants to know if we want Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham. No, thank you. We've got enough wankers in our government as it is. Ravi Nair, Kohli opening. Desperation.
Well, they've got to do something different, Ravi. I mean, as we've said, 4 defeats, all having batted first. That would suggest they're just not posting enough.
I don't know. I mean, that comes down to the nature of the game as much as anything else.
Jason Holder into the attack. Good length ball, but nicely worked by Kohli down to a deeper mid-wicket. They will come back for 2.
I mean, this is what I endlessly argue about a format like this. It ends up being virtually 50-50 wins-loss. You can play exactly the same every single time and have a run of bad games. Next game you go out, someone gets a ton. It's, to a certain degree, there's skill obviously involved, and there's a lot of luck involved in this. It's the snicks that go through the keeper instead of going wide through first slip because it's T20s, and the miss-hit shot when you're on 5 that goes into the spaces in the deep. But
Holder in again.
That's out.
Taken down the leg side, and I think Holder has got his man. The finger has gone up from I think that's umpire rifle, but Kohli has been caught behind. Opening up with him has not worked, and the RCBs are off to a shaky start indeed. 7 for 1.
Well, that's my bet.
Yeah.
On your bike, mate.
Bye-bye.
What's that? I think
Well, it was indeed your bet. Well taken by Goswami down the leg side there as well.
Yeah. Isn't it Riddiman Saha? Isn't he keeping?
No, it's Shivat's Goswami.
How tall is Holder?
6'5", I think.
I think he's taller than that, isn't he? 6'7". I don't know.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he might be 6'7".
While you're waiting, Farong says, evening all from Dakar. As the bear is in the chair, the result will be something like this. RCB 7 for 132, SRH 2 for 134, 17 overs. SRH must bat long enough for tyre timeouts and 8 pay TM reviews in their innings.
Farong's definitely got the hang of this.
Yeah, he definitely got a hang of it.
There's a job for him in marketing, no doubt about that. Although I believe he's an English teacher.
He could be about right
in marketing for sure.
Right, we have a new batsman, and I thought he was going to open, but he didn't.
Diddly dee, this man. Comes Holder, cut by Finch. First ball, straight to point, and there's no run.
Chris Dobertine has sent in a GIF of one of our jingles for a wicket, which is the bye 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 jingle, and is sending it to America and us.
Okay.
No, we don't use that anymore. I might have to bring somebody. No matter how many jingles we tried to purge from this thing. Where was it? I think it was glove, wasn't it? It was underneath of his glove.
I think it was just the bottom of the glove. This one is down leg. I'm not sure if Finch got anything on that. No. He didn't.
It's going to be one of these.
Sundaram Ravi behind the stumps there.
Wide.
Easy enough wide to give. I've noticed there have been a lot of or a few cricket analogies and references in comments to our American friends. Some made by them themselves. In one about obviously the sheer length of time that the process has taken, the fact there's still no result at the end. With the sort of thought that don't you ever complain about cricket again. That takes Finch fairly high up. I think he might just have got a bit of a edge, combination of bat and pad, and it was well outside of off stump. What of another lurk? Oh, he got squared up and played it with the face of the bat, but it was an ugly old shot. I've seen the review as well by the Donald. On one side it's ball's hitting, impact in line.
Yeah.
And then still he's going.
Well, there's a Watford one, isn't there? A football.
Oh, the Watford one is just genius. This one's beaten the outside edge. It's taken the edge. Holder's not sure.
No, it hasn't taken the edge. I think Finch went down a track and missed it. And it went through the keeper, and I think he just tried to throw the stumps down.
That Watford one, Nestlers, is posted, I think, by a sports site in Australia, sports podcast, because they kindly followed me. I replied, not surprisingly. But yeah, it works very nicely, that particular piece, as an allegory for the current election situation. If you haven't seen it, ask me and I'll forward it to anyone who would like to see it, because it features my favourite team, of course. Holder, it's going to be in. That one's turned nicely by Finch to backward square. Will take a hasty single. So that will conclude that Jason Holder over, but a very, very successful one for him. A successful one for the Sunrisers. They have removed the captain of the RCBs, Virat Kohli. Nestlers.
Yeah, my favourite thing at the moment, the general election, is the DJ Cat and that mad spiritual woman with the.
She's fucking insane.
But that Eminem's track and that cat just nodding away like this is just genius. I love it. Mezzy Jez says, evening all, I can't stay as I've got to get up at 6:30 a.m. for cricket scoring for my grandson, but I had to share that it's over. Bye bye Trump, PA will be won by 60,000 votes. There you go.
Enjoy your cricket. Hello to your grandson. Say hello from all of the gorillas to your grandson, Messrs.
And Andy Ward replies to Lennox Lear saying, that wasn't me, about this scoring.
Sandeep's going to continue. He's going to be bowling to man of Victoria, Aaron Finch, who steers this to point and will not take a single. 9 for 1.
Sally R says, should I be brave enough to switch the TV to Fox News to check out their expressions and listen to us at the same time, of course?
Yes, you could also you could try syncing our commentary to election coverage. I don't know. I'm not sure that would actually.
I've got to go and sync.
Actually work though.
I'm just going to sync the hot mic. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I've just reminded you, just as well. Good lord. That one nipped back in, but played nicely by Finch. He will get a run this time. Steered to cover. Not the prettiest shot he'll ever pay. Bring Padikal back onto strike. Finch moves on to 2 from 6. Cautious, watchful, careful start for him. Somewhere in the garden I need to have a quick look round, because there's a horrible noise of cats fighting and I fear one of them might be mine. So I'm trying to look out the window as we speak. Oh my goodness me.
My neighbour's cat is currently lying on top of the cooker, and I've set it on the warm setting where you put, it's about 55 degrees, and it's just lying on top being warmed.
What, the cat?
Yeah.
How do you know when it's done?
Oh well, it goes ding.
Oh right. 10. The cat that goes ding. 10 for 1. Sandeep in. Played nicely by the left-handed Padikal, just to push to mid-off. No run.
Warren's with us on hot mic. Hi all.
Right, Warren's the white cat. So where's my Suki?
Huh? Oh shit! I meant to get a beer too.
Is it not talking to the magpie?
Could be. Oh, they were, and it was a bit of a standoff. I've just seen Suki drift by the window. She's seen the white one off. Well done, girl. So we move on with Sandeep into Padikal after that momentary distraction. Steered to point. It's quite an interesting field. They have a backward point and a point to the left-handed Sandeep. So they're really kind of blocking off that area for the cut shot, aren't they, Nestlers?
They are indeed.
So we're going to try and have another look at that field, because they've clearly done their homework and are aware, and indeed, Carl angled the bat. To have 2 men, I mean, you might call it a gully and a point, a wide gully and a point. It almost looks like 2 points. So I'd say it was gully and a point, and indeed it's gone straight to one of those. So you can absolutely see the wisdom of this field placing from David Warner.
Shouldn't every team do this? Like, look at the team they're playing and say, right, he likes to do that, let's do this.
I mean, the restrictions for the bowling side are quite penal, really, in the power play, but they clearly have a view on where and how Padikal likes to play his shots, and have made a decision to block off one area.
Dot balls are so priceless.
Backward point and gully. And this one is again into that ring of fielders on the offside, and again it will be a dot ball.
Well, they're
Straight to
priceless.
cover that time.
Dot balls are priceless in T20, aren't they?
They are.
You know, okay, he might hit one over the top and go for 4, whatever, but invariably he's not.
No. And they're
It's been
feeding
tight
it.
bowling so far, and no one's gone wide yet, have they, Bear? Gone high, rather, in terms of attacking the bowling.
No. And he's kind of feeding it. I mean, that's kind of length bowling, isn't it? Outside off stump, but feeding the field, really. He's got one out in the deep on the cover. He's got two close together on the angle at the point and gully, as you said. But I would just say it's backward point and point, really.
Well, we are
And then he's got a
being treated
cover
at the
in
moment
the mid
to,
off.
the little and large show as David Warner is looking up into the skies, where he can just about see the top of Jason Holder's head.
Well,
So clearly some more plotting going on between those two. He bowled a decent tight over that first one, remember, 1 for 4 on his the first of his 4 for Jason Holder. He's going to be bowling to Aaron Finch. You would think David Warner has a pretty good idea about where and how Aaron Finch likes to score his runs. There is, like I said, a third slip, a backward point and a point, but this one is worked away on the leg side by Finch, down past backward square, and he will get 4 runs.
it's first of the innings, isn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's very clearly a plan to block off the favoured offside shots for both these batsmen, in fact.
Yeah.
Jason Holder would probably have known that was a risk. Bowled on off stump, but
It was quite a good shot, though, wasn't it?
around. Oh, it was an excellent
I mean, he
shot.
managed to get it back, and he knew where the gap was, so he worked it into that.
Absolutely right. I mean, he played the ball where he knew the fielders weren't. This one though is shorter and bounces up at Finch, and he has to play the bat down on it. That will go to one of those offside fielders, the man at backward point. So 15 for 1. Padikar will be back onto strike. Just 1 for Padikar so far. He too has been very cautious in his opening, but you have to credit the bowling of the Sunrisers, which has been tight, probing, and effective to date. Just the 1 boundary scored. We're into well into this third over. The second for Jason Holder. 1 for 9 for him. He has removed, remember, Virat Kohli. No small scalp that. In he is again, and this one's pulled away to leg, and a catch is taken at mid-wicket. Padikar has gone. He looks at his bat. It's not going to do him any good. It wasn't the bat's fault. The ball rose just that little bit quicker than he expected. He didn't get hold of it. He bunted it straight to mid-wicket, and he has to go.
Yeah, that was it got just a bit too high up on the bat, didn't it? It was a bit short. Didn't get over the top of it.
He
Slightly
did.
mishit. You only need another foot on top on it, but didn't get it.
Well,
Ravi Nair wonders if the we think the IPL was never ending, then the counting started for the US elections. Which will end first?
Well, good point. Probably the IPL, actually. One of those things is predicted to go on for about 3
Tuesday is the
weeks.
final, isn't it?
Tuesday's the final. Isn't there one state that can get votes in for 3 weeks after the election or something? Stupid like that. What
Actually,
is
I do
that?
have a question for people, and for you two gentlemen, actually. Do need to let you know that all kinds of entertainment could happen now. AB de Villiers is at the crease. If anyone is built to turn things around a little bit for the RCBs, having him at the crease is one thing that can do it. Finch, no mean partner to have with you.
No, I mean,
Good start for the Sunrisers, but that's all it is, just a good start.
indeed. Let's have a jingle for the new man.
I'll ask my question after this delivery. Obviously, we're going to want to see the first ball to the great entertainer that is AB de Villiers. Holder is into him, and he watches this past the outside of his off stump through to Goami. It goes, and there is no run. Yeah, no. So my question is: this final for this game will be on a Tuesday. I think the Big Bash tends to have its final on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Why do you construct tournaments to effectively play the showpiece climax for the tournament on
Tuesday.
a weekday? It just doesn't seem to make sense to me, and it seems to be quite common. That one swings away from a wild hike by de Villiers. He doesn't get anything onto it, and it is through to the keeper again.
Oh, holders of class back. Yeah, I find that really weird, Tone. When we said, we're going to do the qualifiers, and I just assumed that the final would be on a weekend. And then they just kind of seem to just roll the games over. They had 1 day break, and then they just carried on like normal. And it's just like, so you're going to have the final to your premier tournament that's taken fucking nearly 2 months to get to.
Yeah, this one is pushed straight back to Jason Holder. Fields well off his own bowling.
And you're going to have it on a Tuesday night. And you're like,
I feel like this IPL is kind of like really big part of my life now, and I don't know how I'm going to feel when it's not there.
We'll find something else. Fill your void, Nestlers. By the way, that was
it's like a bad girlfriend.
2 for 9 for him, 15 for 2, and 2 overs left of the power play. So we'll be looking to accelerate. What have you got for us, Nestlers?
Stobbertine yesterday felt like I was waiting for Middlesex to win the county championship, needing 25 runs, defending 1 wicket with Murtagh and Roland Jones batting.
I've felt that pain.
Brian Barish sends us a picture of the reaction on Fox News, which is quite funny, of 3 newsreaders and their faces. Wrong says another one gone. Oh no, Jeffrey Palmer at 93.
Oh dear, that's bottom edged and away into the onside, and he will get himself a single. Will Finch, he'll move on to 8. De Villiers is on yet to get off the mark. Jeffrey Palmer, butterflies amongst many others I can think of.
Yeah.
Always, wasn't there one he played an army general or something? Maybe I'm thinking of Blackadder. He popped up as a character in the Blackadder Goes Forth, from my memory. It was terrific.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He's a terrific actor.
I remember him in Butterflies. I mean, he's been in tons of stuff.
With Wendy Craig.
Yeah.
Sandeep's going to be in again. 2 De Villiers. De Villiers pushes this down, just evades the attempt from Sandeep to field off his own bowling. And it's down to Long. We'll get De Villiers off the mark. 1 from his 4 faced. We're having just another look at that dismissal of Kohli. Big blow that to the RCB cause, but they do have a very powerful, well, certainly potentially hugely powerful combination at the crease at the moment.
Of course,
they're going to need to live up to their billing, aren't they?
He was in 40 Towers, wasn't he?
He was. Yes, he did. He was in 40 Towers. One episode from my memory. Was he the food inspector? As this one's
I think he might have been
down the track.
We are talking about the dull
Jeffrey
one.
Palmer.
Yeah.
Did he
die of skin cancer?
List of stuff is incredible. I've got it up here on the internet. It's just amazing.
Yeah, he's one of those actors who just kept popping up in so many things all the time.
Doctor Who, Cold Eats.
Yeah, well, yes,
Fall and Rise
yes.
of Reginald Perry.
Sandeep in, yes. And this is a missed throw from Warner.
No, he was just being a prat.
Or was he just he was in everything, Andy's basically saying. Yeah, he was. Look, if you're listening to us on Cricket Tracker India, we apologise, because we suspect Jeffrey Palmer, well, the fact that Jeffrey Palmer may not necessarily have been a huge megastar status in India, but he was a famous English actor, and he sadly left us, so we are remembering him with, I think, some collective fondness. Sandeep is in. This is met nicely by De Villiers, but pushed straight down to long on, and he will only get a single. He moves on to 2. The RCB's 19-4-2. They do not like batting first, remember. Played 4, lost 4 in their last 4. All of those games, they batted first. They've not been able to set defendable totals. The Sunrisers didn't waste any time when they won the toss in choosing to insert RCBs for a 5th attempt. Sandeep's in, cut very nicely indeed. Oh, he stepped back quite magnificently. That should go the distance to the extra cover boundary. It does. 4 more.
Forward to the floor.
We're due for a change now, aren't we? You're off, Tone. I'm taking
We are.
over your
This, I
spot.
think 5 completed. Have we completed 5?
Yes, we have.
1 to 5 inclusive.
Indeed. 6
In
to
that
10
case, it
inclusive.
is time for me to step back for a wee while.
Yeah, see you in a bit. Thoughts, Andy? Come on.
Well, I'm in a bit of a rush here. I only just got here before the start of the game. What on earth are RCB playing at? Making 4 changes, pushing Coley up to open, putting 4 spinners in the team. Where did this come from?
They've gone mad.
They're panicking, aren't they? I mean, as I was saying, I think in this sort of thing, you just stick with a side. You know, they're going to come good
Well,
one
wouldn't
game.
you? Yeah.
That's the point. You slap at it 5 days in a row. If you can get, if you get 4 bad goes on the trot playing exactly the same game in this kind of format, you've got to think it's going to come good eventually, because you just get lucky one day, and that one that went to a fielder doesn't go to a fielder, and then you're off and running. You know.
Of course. Yeah.
But yeah, I think they think too much about it.
Well, RCB's going to RCB.
Well, yeah, 23 for 2 after 5. I went for Coley under 25 and a half, I think.
Okay, well done.
That's 5 to 4, and I got the second wicket as well, so I'm quite happy about that. And I'm not chasing today. Natarajan is in, and his first ball to De Villiers is cut out to the boundary, and it will be a single. We should give the bowler a bit of a jingle, shouldn't we? Here he is.
Magister temerato malum devoratrix Tangarassu Natarajan.
Although I think when they bring Rashid Khan on, I might go cheeky under then. That's defended back down the track by Finch. He'll go out to Warner, skipper at mid-off, and there's just the one.
So I've been a bit late to arrive here, and I wasn't originally on the schedule, so I'm standing in. Even more of me for you lucky people. But I was just dropping my mother off at Stansted Airport, essential travel, and
Hashtag essential travel.
Yep. And if you haven't seen my tweet on the subject, how much do you think it costs in a moment?
That is cut by De Villiers out to Rashid Khan on the boundary. It'll be a single.
How much does it cost to drive up to Stansted Airport, let someone get out, and drive off again?
In terms of what?
In terms of what I have to pay.
The parking thing, which
Yes.
is a drop-off thing.
Oh, right.
Is it 15 quid?
15 quid, yeah.
No, it's only 7, but
7.
I'm literally not doing any parking. Drive up, drop them off, kiss on the cheek, drive off again.
Do you
Where's she
literally
off
have
to?
to?
Vegas?
What, do you have to get a ticket to get in and pay it to get out, or something?
Pay on your way out, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking what a bunch of wankers. That's cheeky. Well, they're skint. That's clipped
Well,
out
they
deep
sent
in
me a
wicket.
tweet to that effect.
For-
It's very obviously a bot tweet.
There's a way round it, I'll tell you in a minute.
Oh, I wish you'd told me before. Yeah,
Didn't
I'll
know you
ask
were going.
It's
What's
quite
that
mad. Anyone's trying to get money in any which way they can. I mean, the travel industry is decimated.
Well, I take a taxi there, and what they do is they drive through. They drive round. I'll break off.
That's defended by A.B. De Villiers, back up the track. Past the bowler, fielded by what's his name? Warner. And
It's been a long
there's a
IPL,
single.
hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been.
There's a bit where you drive round. You can get to one of the couple of the hotels are there. You don't go through, and if you do a cheeky little turn, you drop the person off. They've got a short walk to the airport, and you don't have to pay.
Okay, yeah. And, right.
Played off the back foot. Not much foot movement from Finch, but he's angled the bat nicely, and it's raced down to backward point. All the way to the boundary, 4 runs.
Just in case anyone wants to say you can drop them off at the short stay car park for free, that's a 20-minute walk for my 80-year-old mother carrying her bag, so no.
Yeah, the hotel one's about 5 minutes.
Yeah, even that.
Brian Barris says he loves the ABV jingle.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
It's good. There are people tweeting about Joe Biden. Farong says, I think Diwali may have something to do with it, the Tuesday final. Perhaps everyone needs to return to India for Diwali celebrations.
Oh, it's Tuesday, Diwali. I thought Diwali had already happened.
No, it's on a Saturday, but it's next Saturday.
Oh, right, okay. But then why not have it on Diwali?
Because they want to go back to India.
You wouldn't have the cup final on Christmas.
Oh, right. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Was it normally on a weekend then? Is it normally on a weekend?
Don't know.
Was last year's on a weekend?
Pass.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Pirate Bad Charlotte also says, can't speak to the logic of the IPL being on Tuesday. When the Champions League switched to Saturday finals, they lost some interest for me. Too much going on at the weekend.
I suppose maybe if you're watching it at TV, it's a weekday highlight. Live sport, big event.
Used to be.
Oh, it's me, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Clipped into the leg side by De Villiers, and there's no mid wicket. Rashid Khan comes racing in for the boundary, and stops them from getting back for two. It's Dean into the attack. Yeah,
I don't
Showing
know.
our age, but sorry, Nessers. The European Cup final used to be one of the few live games you would see all year, especially for an English team. Wasn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
And the commentary was always...
Need to find the Dean's jingle. Oh, just clipped off the pads by Finch. Square on the leg side. There's a man on 45, comes across the fields, and there's no run. It's
second day in a row, Cricket Tracker India, no comments, which is unusual.
Must be something going on.
Yeah, it's bloody Facebook are doing something. Trust me. It's
Have they banned us for spreading lies?
no, they just do updates and fangle around with pages, and they do it in different places at different times. That's clipped up to long on. There's no run, and a single. Yeah, they're odd like that. Suddenly you'll disappear from someone's timeline for like a week, just because they've decided that they want videos to show somewhere else.
They call it shadow banning.
Is that what they call it?
That's what they call it on YouTube. You're not really banned, you just don't show up for them.
Yeah, exactly. That's played off the back foot out to cover, and there's no run. And then it'll switch to being back to normal 10 days later, because they'd have rejigged the algorithm once again, and you appear in a place that people can actually see you and catch you again. It's weird. Played out to the covers, just wide of point. Cover, and they'll get themselves a single.
Well, I mean, we're on the secondary feed of Cricket Tracker anyway, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
not on the main thing anyway. So,
I know. It's annoying though.
but I mean, there are people watching. They're just not commenting.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the main thing, as long as people can hear us. In fact, even better, to be honest.
They can. Well, if you're listening,
no
you
offence.
can always get a Twitter account and tweet us. There you go.
Yeah, it's better, isn't it?
It is better. So a third mode of communication, as that one's clipped out through mid-wicket down to Rashid Khan, who's everywhere. Out sort of cow corner there. It'll only be one run. 37 for 2, 7 gone. Run rate's only 5.29.
It is, and I hate to bang the same drum all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't see the first 5 overs, but is this really necessary to retrench as much as this? Well, I guess
Not
they will.
really.
So-
They've not really taken any risks at all yet.
and their problem is Rashid hasn't bowled yet, so they've still got 4 overs of him to
Yeah, is
get
it
through.
Shabazz Nadeem?
Yes, I think he took 3 or 4 wickets in the last game.
Yeah, he bowled all right. We watched it.
Fried chicken, Shabazz Nadeem. A better spinner you've never seen. Shabazz Nadeem.
That'll do. God, Billy Stanlake's in this slot.
Oh yeah,
I haven't
he's
seen
not
it.
played today.
Has he played at all?
No, I don't think so. Some of these teams like Mumbai and the Sunrisers, their core players, their core overseas players do play every game. I know they switched holder for Bairstow, but if you're the 6th or 7th overseas player, you're not going to get much of a wicket.
No. Do you get paid if you don't play? I thought you
Oh, sure, if you're available, you get paid, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. First ball's Googly. Rashid Khan's into the attack. He's got a great jingle. It goes like this.
Rashid Khan, yes please. The best off bowler in the whole silly world, yeah. Rashid Khan, yes please. What you gonna do when he bowls to you?
Next ball is floated up outside the off stump of De Villiers. Drives it out to deep cover and get himself a single. Rashid Khan, indeed, yes please. He's had a pretty stomping tournament.
As he does every year.
Yeah, his quality, he's not, oh, well, I mean, he doesn't play many test games, he's pretty good at one-day cricket as well. We did see him in that test against Ireland, a rare outing. Ooh, that's a googly, he's come back into Finch, he's gone down on a lap sweep. Oh, got a little under edge into his pad that just dribbles out on the leg side to mid-wicket. No run.
He's one player you certainly couldn't blame for focusing on white ball cricket.
No, absolutely not, you know, and he's become very good at it. He's very well spoken as well. I was listening to the interview. He's talking about how different deliveries and stuff at the talking to Mark Nicholas at the end of the game the other day when he got that, was it 4 for something ridiculous or 3 for 7 or something. There's an appeal, I think that's going down leg side. It was quite darty in at the legs. Probably pitched outside leg, might have straightened a bit, but I'm not even sure it's straightened enough to hit the stumps, to be honest. There will be no review.
No, I don't think that has too much going for it, but it's another dot.
It is indeed.
Pressure.
Only one run off 4 balls so far this over. That's outside off stump. These two have experience enough to be able to do it. Finch guides that down to third man. Short inside the circle, and there'll be no run. I'll probably hit him in just about in line with leg stump. It didn't turn at all, did it? It was going straight down. Gives himself some room. Another googly by Rashid Khan with his hands up to his head. Gave himself enough space to adjust by going so far outside the leg stump. Did Finch, allowing him to cut it, not particularly well timed, straight to point, and there was just the one run. Gummed things up, and then we've got probably 8 overs of this now. Do these guys switch around their bowling, or do they tend to?
Not as much. I don't think they tend to bowl Rashid all out in one spell. They kind of want him bowling when they need him most. But RCB have got to go 10 and over from here just to get to 160.
Yep.
Farong tells us the IPL finals normally played on Sundays. Diwali must be the reason for the Tuesday final this year, with it not being held in India. So, and Cricket Tracker India has woken up with Ali Arshad, who says hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Good to have you along.
Bit of a conversation there. They really are playing 4 spinners. Crazy. Chahal, Zampa, Moeen and Sundar. Remarkable.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. Who's their pace attack then? I mean, who's their pace?
Saini, and is Morris playing? Morris is missing out, isn't he?
Nadeem is in again. Very slingy action. And it's just
Morris misses out. It's Saini and Siraj, I assume, yes.
Okay. Played by Finch up to long on. It'll be a single.
Well, maybe they were gambling on being able to bowl first, because it's not going to be easy bowling second with that dew factor.
No. Damp ball. Spinners don't like that. Well, you know, De Villiers could quite easily get stacked for the runs from here. He's got the experience and know-how, ability. He goes back and plays that down to long on. Having said that, I've just gone under for the full of the next wicket at 62 and a half. But it might not be him. It could be the other guy. It could be Finch.
Could be. Anything could happen.
Exactly. You know, they could score 100 partnership in 50 balls for all I know. That was a single out to the deep on the leg side again.
Wow, they need something like that.
Well, they do. Down the track comes Finch. Drives up to long off, sorry. Think about 2. A way to come. But cut it off and they will not get back for 2. 42 for 2. 8.3 overs gone. Who's dinging me? And the thing is, I always look at my phone because people are always trying to get in.
Jersey Oak wants to know, is anyone suffering from CNN election overdose? No.
Nope.
I haven't looked at it.
De Villiers tries to give himself room outside the leg stump, and he goes a bit early. Nadeem sees him, fires it in at him, can't quite connect with it, goes out into the deep on the leg side, but it's just the one run to deep mid wicket. Up to a super striker of the season is Kieron Pollard at 190. Don't know what that means. Does that mean run rate?
Strike rate.
Strike rate, yeah. Hardik Pandya didn't do himself any bad things yesterday. God, he got went like a train at the end there. Finch tries to give himself room once more outside the leg stump, can only hit it out to deep cover, and there's no run. Sorry, 1 run. God, I'm doing that thing again. 44 for 2.
You do. You get into test match mode when the default is no run.
Yeah.
Default is 1 run in T20.
Yeah, exactly. Last ball of the over, Nadeem. Oh, that goes on with the arm.
A lot of
Seemed
them
to
a lot like that.
Yeah, seemed to skid a little bit off the thing and go straight on. Hurried De Villiers a bit, got enough bat on it. Out to backward point.
I think I've seen a boundary since I sat down.
No, I haven't played that many jingles, man. So it's been quiet. But this was, yesterday I suppose they went off quick at the beginning, didn't they, and then slowed down and then went crazy at the end, didn't they, in that first innings.
Then they went quick with wickets in the second innings.
Yeah. Oh, that was.
All right, can you help us out with social media, or have we got to talk for 2 minutes?
Well, it's gone a little bit quiet on the social media front as well. I think everyone's
in a bit of a lull.
Yeah, there's a social media boring middle tweets.
I think now the election's over, everyone's sort of taking a break from continuous social media for 72 hours.
Well, I haven't. Yeah,
it's not over, but it does seem to have been called.
I haven't been watching the TV. I mean, I find it very difficult to watch anything where Donald Trump or, for that matter, Boris Johnson, etc., open their mouths and start talking. So I tend to, if they do appear on TV, turn them over.
Right, but most of the TV has just been talking heads talking to each other, just like endlessly about combinations and permutations.
I tend to just go on a news website, like something like The Guardian or whatever, and just see what the score is, and then just, that's it, all right, that's where we are, and then just go off.
Pretty much. I just watch the markets, but they've been mad for a spell. They were really up and down.
Well, the Chinese market has gone through the roof, hasn't it?
No, I mean the betting markets.
Oh, the betting
markets.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've got it right, though, again, haven't they?
Who's they?
Well, I think they probably got
Paddy Power got these counties right, these states rather right, quite early, and I was looking at it going, really? So
okay,
yeah.
But they kept having to go around all the houses, didn't they, on who's going to win it, and anyone who was sharp on it could have hedged out loads on that, couldn't they?
Mm. Well, it was all happening. The best time to be on was about 7 o'clock yesterday morning, or was it the morning before? It might have been the morning before. But anyway, it's all shaking out in the wash, and we can get back to thinking about all the other terrible things that are happening.
Now I'll go on YouTube and watch people fighting each other in the streets.
Well, exactly. Now's the fun. Now comes the fun bit, because Trump has to either concede or just blow his, lose his rag somehow and do something crazy.
Well, he's already done one crazy speech.
Exactly.
That was actually scripted. He was actually reading that off a notebook.
Oh no, I saw that.
Imagine if he goes off the cuff, he's going to go mental.
Well, exactly.
Popcorn out.
But that's what I mean. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be good to watch.
They will all turn on each other. That's the best.
They will. And that'll be fun to watch too. 45 for 2. We're back to the cricket. The Seat timeout, whatever it is, thing is over. And we're nearly halfway through the innings, and it's 45 for 2. It's appalling. Rashid Khan is in, driven nicely by De Villiers out to the deep cover. And there's a bit of a misfield out there. Unfortunately, they won't get
run
back
the first one hard though. Where's that intent?
Well, and you thought with these two, they certainly know how to do it.
There's a little bit too much of this. It's just a bit much. Oh yes, I'll just push that for a single. Jog. Oh, he misfielded it. Oh, it's too late to get 2 now. Strange.
Yeah, what it is. They're probably thinking we're going to hit ourselves out of this anyway, the pair of them.
There was a really good quote from Rohit the other day after the game.
Oh, when he got out first ball.
No.
Well, Finch has gone.
Finally.
And finally, he's hit something, and he's hit it far enough. It's gone over long on, all the way. I think the first one of the match. It's one of these.
No, he was just talking about those middle overs yesterday when Kishan went in, how they went out to him on a break and said, don't worry about it. We want you to take the game to them. We don't want you to let them get on top. So trust your instinct.
Okay. Oh, well, Finch pulled away. I think De Villiers dropped his bat or something.
Yeah. I don't think I'd have bowled anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe it just distracted him in his eye line.
Yeah. And so we'll have that one again. Here comes Rashid Khan driven out to short cover, where Kane Williamson is fielding. And there is no run. Good strike by Finch.
Got to the pitch the ball.
They brought the boundaries in a fair way, haven't they? Oh. Nah. There's gone for the sweep as Finch.
Yeah.
I think Rashid saw him going down and just pushed it a little bit wider, and he couldn't get it round. Missed it. It was taken by the keeper. It's another googly. He took the bails, but I don't think his back foot came off. That one comes back into another googly. Just worked in a vacant fucking mid-wicket. They only got a one.
It's interesting to see Rashid bowling these googlies, and to a degree Nadeem bowling all these arm balls into the right-handers, which you would normally, if you had the choice, do it the other way. But I think they have a plan for these two batsmen. They don't want to give them any room outside off stump.
No, exactly. We were talking about this with Anindo the other day. That's cut out straight to cover, and they got through for a single that time. So why not pushing hard for the twos every once in a while? I don't know. 9 off the over. You know, and he was saying that obviously he has access to some high class spinners of some description or not. Get your. Oh yeah, I'm out of here. Maybe I'll talk about this when I come back. It was in the article he put on the WhatsApp group, but you're not on the WhatsApp group anymore, are you?
I never was.
You're not out of here, Ben. You're staying.
For the best.
Am I staying? Oh, I am staying. Yes.
It's me that's
you're going,
departing.
Okay.
Social media, Tony. The next one will be Farong about RCB.
Well, you can start with that if you like.
I can do that if you like. So, my RCB 132 overs or unders. Where are they now? 54 for 2 off 10. If they doubled that, they'd be 108.
Well,
add some more. I think 132 to 140 is not a bad shout for wrong.
Let's see where the bookies
probably just over.
The bookie line should be about 145 at least. I mean, there's no reason why they can't get 10 and over from here that I can see. They've got 2
not with these two. The run line.
Mowing still to come. It's going to be wide from Nadeem. Well, you could see why he did it. Navilliers stepped away, so Nadeem sort of threw it wide outside of stump, too wide outside the tram line as well.
149 and a half is the run line. I'd say they can still
does
get
it
more
again. This time Nadeem is not fooled and bowled it actually at the stumps, which is not a bad thing to do when the batsman's dancing around sideways. Pushes it up to long off for a single.
Would you like to know the average first innings score, Andy? Because I know you're always hot for that stat, aren't you?
Can't wait. The 3 decimal places, please.
100. Well, only one, I'm afraid. 162.7. Down from 171, where it was after 7 games.
Oh.
Up in the air. Is there anyone out there? It's not going to get the distance. The man's underneath it. Takes the catch. Finch is gone. The Deems takes the wicket.
The bear gets his bet.
For 3. The bear gets his bet, and appropriately with a bit of loopy left arm spin.
Nice.
So get on your bike and take a hike right out of here. Your history. No good for me. Your history. Nah.
Yeah, toss it up a bit.
Sunderland under 23s have just scored.
Stop the press.
Wow. There's an American election, an IPL
and Sunderland
eliminator, but let's keep the world appraised of the Sunderland under 23.
Well, it just flashed up on my betting screen.
You need to cut down your notifications. Could you tell us a bit about that piece of left arm spin bowling?
Well, it was a nice little floaty number, wasn't it? He tried to get inside it, got beaten in the flight, really. Tried to hit it too hard, probably, over extra cover, didn't he? Not much turn, but just didn't get enough of it, and slightly beaten in the flight. So the next man out is this man.
Heartbeat shouldn't touch. Move over, I'm low. I like it too much. Move over, I'm low. You're one hairy dish. I love
not on strike. Oh, De Villiers gets an edge on that. Beats the keeper. I wouldn't blame the keeper there. It's going to run down for 4. Went for the back foot punch. Edged it past the keeper for 4. a bit wristy there from De Villiers, but could go anywhere off the edge. Finch, 32 off 30, isn't particularly helpful.
No.
De Villiers wants to crack on from his 19 off 20. And against into the leg side, fired into the pads, out the deep mid wicket, should pick up a single. And Moeen's going to come on strike. Hasn't had too many games lately.
No.
No, not for England either. I don't think he's.
No. He's not on the South Africa tour, or is he?
I think he is. No, he is.
Yeah, because they have left out a few at least for the first.
I think both formats. I think.
So I mean, who's going? I haven't seen the squads actually.
Well, I think Stokes, Archer, and Curran were all rested. We've got no ball. That's a shocker from a spinner.
Rested from the ODIs, but not from the T20s. I think.
Right, rested for the first half of the
Yeah.
tour. Not sure what this no ball is for. I should imagine front foot, unless fielder was in the wrong place.
That's a crime.
It is criminal, and Moeen's going to have a free hit. It's like a beer match. Free hit on the first ball.
Nice. Can't be out for golden duck.
Nope.
What's the equivalent in golf? What do you call it when they're
A mulligan.
a mulligan? Yes, a mulligan.
It was a front foot no ball. That's appalling.
Only just, but you shouldn't be anywhere near that line.
No.
Line. You can't just dissect.
Spin bowlers with front
line.
foot no balls. Oh dear.
Exactly.
He's over the wicket, and Moeen only puts it to cover and could even get run out off the no ball, and he might have done. We haven't seen
God,
this
you can get run out of no ball.
himself out. He did have a free hit, but he's run himself out. I think.
You can be run out of a no ball.
What a
That
man.
really is.
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
That's
Rounding
appalling.
it up all right.
Oh dear.
Now, we didn't get to see the batsman there at all, so we'll have a look now. He punched it to cover straight to Rashid Khan. I don't know if he's just thought, free hit, I'll just run. He's not even in the picture.
Yeah, he has
Correct
thought.
hit.
He's just thought free hit. I can't be out, and then he's realised. I think as he's running down a shit,
He
can be
turned
running.
around, did he? And
No,
came
he
back.
didn't turn around. But I
No.
think in his mind he's thinking, yeah, you can't be out. It's a no ball. And then of course he's halfway down a track. He's realised, oh shit, you can be run out of a no ball, but it's too late.
And then he did turn back. He faced the ball.
Yeah, but he's back to the bowler's
He's
end.
running to the bowler's end. He was running out the bowler's end.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah, I'm with you. So he carried on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that does count as facing a ball because effectively he's faced a no ball and a free hit.
Oh, even if you hit it for 6, you'd still be 6 off 1 ball. Still counts for your.
Yeah.
So
effectively he's faced 2 balls.
But it says
he's
one in
faced
the
one
book.
ball.
He's faced the 1 ball. Okay.
He's out for golden duck. Run himself out. What a fucking muppet! Jesus Christ.
It's not quite a diamond duck, which is if you run yourself out without facing a ball at all.
Yes.
Off the first ball of the innings.
Yeah. on a Monday.
on the first game of the season. Punched out through by De Villiers. He will feel a bit like he's got to carry the whole ship himself. They got 2 that time, and fairly comfortably, to be honest.
Well,
by the batsman Dubé.
Doobie doo. I bet that. I hope that's his jingle. I'm going to find out now.
We'll find out.
You're chilling Dubé, treat the bowlers roughly. He's got the skills you need, and he's right buff, really. He's hitting sixes, not making duck eggs. So take this guy on if you feel like getting clubbed.
Oh, nice.
De Villiers does beat extra cover with that one, pick up a single. And, well, I hate to sound like a stuck record, but this is the problem. You score 5 and over off the first 9. You're ready to go, and then whoops, you lose 2 wickets.
Yeah. Oh, for crying out loud! It's another one of these
only
fucking
'cause you're
games.
here.
Yes. Well, I'm here for the final too, mate. Jesus Christ!
Oh, goodness.
I apologise
His
now.
apologies in early.
I apologise now.
Shall we have some social media messages? Please.
Yeah,
Brian
go on.
Barish says, my wife and I did watch Trump's presser last night and you could tell he knew he was going to lose. He gave no fucks. It was really sad. Even the Fox folks were like, this dude is not telling the truth. Brian Barish is also keeping us up to date, saying, assuming Biden holds up, the attention turns to Georgia, where 2 Senate runoff races will determine whether or not the Democrats have control of that House. It will be difficult to get things done if that doesn't happen, to be honest.
Well, it is, and both sides are going to throw tens of millions at those Senate runoffs. Tipped into the leg side. I think only one, yes, tipped into the leg side by De Villiers.
Well, a lot of people are interested whether that if Trump didn't win, whether he'd actually throw his energy after the party. And I swear, if they all ditch him, he'll just go, fuck you all.
Of course they will. At this point, once he's lost,
well, exactly. So they'll ditch him.
It wasn't me. I never liked him the whole time.
Well, exactly. But the rest of the Republican Party is pretty fucking odious. I mean, he's odious, but he's a charismatic, autocratic wanker.
Apart from everything he said and how mean-spirited he was, what he did was pretty straight down the line Republican. Anyway, I'll try and spare you that a little bit. Am I ball by ball? Yes, I am. Dubé is in, punches into the offside, beats the short cover, and so the run was safe. 67 for 4. RCB with 4 changes, with Coley opening, with Finch at 3. It all seemed like a bit scrambled brains in the RCB think tank.
Who makes that bloody...
4 defeats on the bounce, each of them batting first.
Into the leg side by De Villiers, and Rashid is after it himself. They think about 2, decide not to, so he's got a good arm. Just the one.
Who's the side man for RCB? Is that Brendan McCullum?
No, he's KKR. Do you know, I'm not sure who's RCB's coach is. You can find that for us, please, Tony.
I'm literally on the case as we speak.
And Warner's been pretty good captain, hasn't he, for Sunrisers?
Yeah.
Certainly lately. Leading for
Certainly
the front,
lately, yes, he was batting a bit strangely to start with, but now he's got himself, and that was... Dubé didn't really know what to do with that Rashid Khan.
He had no fucking clue, did he? Just stood there.
I think he got an inside edge onto his pad.
He did.
Just prodded at it with no foot movement at all. Rashid with a little spring in his step after that one. Picked up for 6 by Aaron Finch, but nothing else off him so far. Oh, he tried to cut that one, Dubé. Appeal from Rashid Khan again. I couldn't really see if he hit it or if he
hit it, but it's a question of whether it hit his pad before, because he just kind of jabbed the bat down on it. Probably would have gone to
Katic, by the way, is the answer to your question.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was just
Katic.
Simon Katic.
Oh, okay, that's a new one.
Yeah, it's a fucking gravy train, isn't it, for ex-pros?
Yep.
And internationals.
I don't know how you coach Rashid Khan. Just say,
bowl.
You bowl.
Here's a ball. You just do your thing, yeah?
It's another dot ball played out to mid-wicket. It's no run. 3 overs, none for 14 for Rashid Khan, and the score flashed away. I think they're 68 for 4 off 12.
Yeah,
that would be right. Right then, everybody Wang Chung tonight, which is a wonderful thing, is replying to messages actually. So I'll let you read that one there. Ben 661614 is saying something I've just lost. Oh, I found it. I still see the Democratic majority in the Senate unlikely.
Yeah, I think so.
Purdue would have gotten 52% without the LB candidate, and I suspect LBs to break heavily for R's. Now he's lost me. LBWs?
No, LBs, the other...
What they do in the Senate race is actually a bit more sensible. I'll come on to it.
What's LB in this context? You can tell me off this
probably. Pushed up to long on. Holder is there. Yeah, it was a long way down. I didn't fancy him getting that one. Gets past his right hand for 4.
He went down his stages there. No, it didn't do that.
Way to go as well.
Give it to me 1 time. Give it to me 2 times. Give it to me 3 times. Yeah. Give it to me 4 times.
So briefly after this ball, Nadeem's in again, steps away, De Villiers steps back in, plays up the long one again. It really should just be the one this time. Jason Holder Fields. No, in the Senate races, if there's more than 2 candidates, you have to get 50% of the vote. Suggestion that might have been out, LBW, but I thought it hit him.
Well, I think it hit the pad first, and then it hit the bat.
Little touch on the top of the pad first, then it's hit the bat. So technically that's out.
Yeah, it would have been, but this is it. They couldn't figure it out themselves, so they decided not to review it.
It was a tricky one.
Actually, Khan looks a bit disappointed.
He does now, yeah.
He does now, he's seen that.
Yes.
But I think he thought it was, but it's not his decision, is it?
Well, he can ask for the review.
Yeah, I suppose he could do it. You go through the captain generally. Doesn't the captain? Generally. The captain has to give the...
Captain's up at long off, though, in this case. It doesn't help, maybe. That one's pushed past pin wicket for a single. Anyway, come back to the point. In the Senate race, if there's more than 2 candidates, you have to get 50% of the vote. If you don't, then the top 2 candidates will go through to another vote. So the Libertarian guy who got 2% or something did enough so it was kind of like 49-48-2 or whatever, so they're running it again, and that's happening twice. That one's punched up to long off. It'll be a comfortable single.
Looks like a qualifier.
As the tweeter says, people who vote Libertarian are probably a bit more likely to vote Republican than Democrat.
There is, but I mean, I imagine there's a kind of small, and I imagine this is quite a small cohort, but I mean, with all sort of figures like Trump, there's a certain amount of sheep following and crowd following. Once the spell gets broken, the more sensible edge
jump back on the
yeah, exactly. So you wonder if that'll happen.
Maybe. Punched up to long off by Dubé, being on the single, but as I said,
it doesn't have to be much, does it? It's only about 3 or 4%.
Well, that's it. And I say both sides are going to put absolutely millions into campaigning and adverts for that. But the funny thing is, I think they're going to say to Trump, can you campaign and help us get these Senate seats? He's just going to go, no.
That's what I mean. That's what I was just saying. I just, when it comes to that, I just don't think he'll do it.
Punched out of cover, no run, 76 for 4 off 13. They're inching up towards a run of ball. Goodness me, they need 10 and over just to get 145.
Leah says, isn't Mulligan Magic the Gathering thing? It may well be as well.
Yeah,
it's definitely a free shot off your first miss hit at golf. At least, she says, Moen didn't get a comedy run out without facing a ball. No, he didn't. For wrong, says David Warner in the last 6 IPL seasons, 2014, 528. I won't read every year, you can work it out from there. 562, 848, 641, 692, 501 so far. 6 seasons and 6 times he's crossed the 500 mark.
Very good, yeah.
Anyone know why he didn't play in 2018? And then says, brackets being facetious.
Yes, you almost got me thinking about that.
I think we do know the answer to that. Warren says, IPL learns that Bear is on commentary for the final, so decide, fuck it, and let's have it on a Tuesday.
Well, it wouldn't have been. If they had it on a Sunday. If you had it on a Sunday, it'd have been Knackle. I imagine Knackle's a bit gutted that he doesn't get to see the final, or at least do it here.
Okay, this is a bowler I haven't seen much of in punditry terms. Or is it Natarajan?
It's Natarajan.
Yes, sorry.
As I call him, Natarajan.
Natarajan. He's going to bowl left arm overs to the left-hander. He's punched into the offside sweeper. He'll pick up an easy single.
You see a lot of these sort of lesser-known Indian batsmen who, we don't know much about over here per se. And I've seen a few of them. There's not a lot of foot movement going on with these guys. It's all swinging the bat, and sometimes they get stuck a lot, and then they'll have a quick flurry of boundaries, and then get out.
It can happen, yes. It can happen to the best of them,
especially with the better bowlers and the more experienced international bowlers and stuff knocking about.
Yep. I mean, you've still got obviously seven Indian players in each team for 8 teams. On match day is 56. So your
it's good.
56 best Indian players aren't going to be great, but to be fair, they're probably going to be better than the 160th best England players who are in the blast. Punched over cover by De Villiers. He's put that in the gap. Good shot, and that's gone for 4.
There's not one boy for me. I must have 2 or 3. I need 4.
This all kind of rests on De Villiers doing what De Villiers
I was just
does,
going to
doesn't
say,
it?
yes.
He could still get another 80 with the time left there, easy. If he's there at the end. That's kind of what he's there for, isn't it?
80 is a bit hopeful, but maybe 50 more. He's only going to get about 20 balls. What was it again? That's punched back down the wicket, straight past his batting partner. Look for 2, and they're going to come back and have a go at it. That's not the greatest fielding, but good aggressive running, and De Villiers will pick up 2. 83 for 4 after 13.3 overs. And RCB trying to put the foot down here.
Is that Ganguly up on the right there?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
He's lost a lot of weight again, didn't he? Get quite for a
grown
while.
A lot of hair as well.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Punched into the leg side. Should pick up 1. No aggressive 2 that time, although could have got it with a bad throw.
He's doing everything opposite to me. I'm putting on weight and losing hair.
He's
gaining hair and losing weight.
Is he the president of BCCI at the moment?
He's certainly one of the high
Holding
muckamucks in
ones.
there. Yes, yeah.
I saw someone on Twitter can tell
Decent,
us.
fast mask discipline there. Not too bad. That's Rajan's in again. Bouncer. I think that'll be a wide because it's a bit down the leg side.
Well, no, it's giving us a
so.
dot ball.
No, that surprises me a bit, and I think it surprised Virat Kohli as well. A quizzical look to one side there. I thought that was a wide. The batsman just stood and watched it, so evidently he did as well. Last ball of the 14th over, 84 for 4. It looks a bit short.
It looks well short.
That's Rajan is in again. It's a Yorker pushed into the leg side, and he'll pick up a single to complete the over. And it's 85 for 4.
Ali Ashad is with us on Cricket Tracker India, and Bear, we need to talk to them. You know why? It's just been really strange. Armchair Cricket Podcast says a run out off a free hit. Had not yet witnessed this. Why run that at all after hitting it so hard to Rashid Khan at cover?
I've done
who's
it myself.
quite accurate.
I've done it myself many times, usually to my partner's detriment. You hit the ball really well at cover and you think, oh, I've creamed that one, you start running.
Yeah. This is disastrous for ECB. No, RCB. Let's try that. They've lost 2 just when they should have begun to accelerate. Yes, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Armchair Cricket Podcast also says, wow, Dubé appeared stone dead on that appeal in Rashid's over. Well, looks like Jason Holder may have persuaded the keeper that maybe it was bat first. Surprised Rashid Khan did not insist on the review. David Warner appeared to wait on them.
Well, David Warner's about 60 yards away. That's slightly the problem. So he has got to get good information from those close to the wicket. Not like you can stand at slip like in a test match. Rashid is going to bowl his 4th over. Big swing from Dubé and a thick inside edge down to short fine leg. Pick up a single, but I think a good result for him. He gets off strike and gets AB de Villiers back up there.
I really found it difficult to get going. I mean, even AB de Villiers is going at not much over a run a ball, is he, at the moment?
He's not, although that has been his MO in the last few games. Sometimes it pays off. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't. He's gone for the sweep that time and he's just dipped and gone under the bat. So it's another dot ball. Luckily for him, it was outside off stump.
Sharjah, it's just to try and figure out how many accidents he can cause on Sharjah High Street by whacking the ball into the middle of the road.
Windscreens he can break.
Yes.
It's cut. Should be a man out there at deep point. There is. Are they going to get 2? They are. Yep, well run. It's 88 for 4. Let's see if they can smash up a few Altrozes in the stands.
Somebody hit one yesterday, didn't they? Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Even I'm losing track now.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday, wasn't it? It was yesterday, and one of that Altroz was smacked.
Dinged.
Of the last over, I think.
De Villiers gets outside off stump to sweep. It's a good shot. He's gone outside off stump just so he can get it very fine, and that was very well placed. Fielder couldn't get there, and it's 4.
What did they get in the last 3 overs? They got 60 yesterday, didn't they, or something?
Oh, if you have... they had Hardik and Ishan going very well. To be honest, some not very good bowling. Nortje and others. Googly and De Villiers didn't know a great deal about that. Gets an inside edge. The keeper and the fielder are both after it. No one's at the stumps, but they still get 1. But it is possible to score 65-70 off the last 5. You probably need 2 batsmen going well to do it. I think they're pinning it all on De Villiers from here. And Sunrisers, conversely, were thinking if they can get him out.
And I mean, early wickets is going to be key for the RCBs, isn't it?
Once they come to bowl, yep. Oh, that's the Googlies to the left-hander. Drops it into the offside. Good work from the keeper. There's no run. It's the end of the over. Rashid Khan, no wickets for him today, but a typically economical none for 22. It's 93 for 4. We're going to have a little change.
We are indeed. I think Hendo and Nestler's are back on.
Oh, Hendo.
Nestler's Leah is next up.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, hang on, let me just sort that out so that my beard's in the right place.
Beards in front and centre.
Bloody hell, Hendo! It's like an animal on the
cracking,
end of your chin.
It is. I think there may be some creatures in there, actually. I'm going to have
I
to have a
think
little look
there
for them
are, yeah.
later. Yes.
Now,
absolutely.
what is the timeline for a shave? Have you?
When the virus is over.
You look like ZZ Top.
Yeah.
So it could be sometime.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Hopefully, you won't crack because I'd love to see you in the flesh. You've got to wait until we've all gone down to Sydenham or something.
Yes, you shall. I guess you will worship at the end of the beard.
We will.
That would be
And
perfect.
play with it.
Absolutely. I'm hoping for that. Holder's back into the attack, by the way. 2 for 9 in his first 2 overs, bowling to De Villiers. It's a slower ball, a full toss, which he digs out and plays very well indeed. Square on the offside, going to get through for a couple. This has been a real slog for the RCBs, hasn't it? Wow. Great bowling, I think you have to say.
It has, but I don't know why they've suddenly changed. I know, as Tony said, I know they've lost their last 4 games, but why you throw all your plans up in the air after 14 league games and make 4 changes and Kohli goes up to open?
Yes, well, yeah, I wasn't sure about that at all.
Bit weird.
Yeah, here is Holder again, right up in the block hole. He can't get rid of that any further away from just in front of the crease, but well spotted by Doob that they could probably get through for 1 while Holder was following up. And they do. The score moves on to 96 for 4.
Leia says, speak for yourself, Bear. I own every Winston India ever published and follow Indian domestic competitions far closer than I follow the English ones. So, no.
Okay, the Bear's not in a position to respond to that apart from using his digits. And,
Sign language,
and quite rightly, he has used that digit. I think you know it as the central digit of the right hand.
The listeners can't see.
Which the listeners can't see, but we can report back to you. And that is what he said, basically. He's also. It looks like he's in the middle of a big pack of Monster Munch. That looks like that's what the Bear's after. What's he got there? What have you got?
Organic mixed nuts.
Oh my goodness! What on earth is this? Organic.
That's what your Patreon dollars go on.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about our Patreon dollars. They seem to be diminishing. By the minute. Holder to Doob, the left-hander, and he crashes this through mid-wicket. That might go all the way. No, it won't. Good piece of fielding there on the boundary at long on, but they do get back for 2. Doob goes on to 8, and the score is 98 for 4. We only have 4.5 overs left. It's looking very difficult. They've got 4 spinners in their ranks, though, today, the RCBs.
Called Zampa in. I don't think he's played at all.
Well, I mean, it was strange to see Moeen Ali back in. The kind of forgotten man. And he didn't really cover himself in glory, did he?
Not badly.
Things just not going very well for... It's not really going well for Moeen at the moment, are they?
No.
This is wide outside the off stump, 2 wide in fact, and the umpire signals it as such.
Whenever I see a packet of Monster Munch in a shop, I always, in my head, just think the Bear.
Yes. You
automatically.
Sydenham would be strewn with a few old packets down the back of the settee. And,
those big ones. He used to get those huge ones, didn't he?
Or huge onion rings. Here comes Holder to Doob once again. He's in. This is on the leg stump, and he's chipped that up towards mid-off. Is going to be caught. Extraordinary dismissal. Must have played the shot far too early. Got a leading edge. Loot to Warner running to his left at mid-off, and Holder has a 3rd wicket. 99 for 5.
Well, it was a big call for the Sunrisers to bring Jason Holder into the team because they had to leave out Johnny Bairstow. Certainly, was batting perfectly well. But I remember Monty was on. He said, "Why aren't they playing Holder? I think he would really help them as an extra bowler." And I said, "Yeah, but who can you leave out?" And in the end, they did leave Bairstow out. They replaced him with Saha, who scored plenty of runs. But unfortunately for them, he's now injured, and Goswami's going to keep wickets. So Sunrisers have had to make a change or 2, not as many as RCB. But as I was saying, Holder 3 for 15 has impressed again today. I think he's really made a difference to their bowling attack.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, that obviously has made a huge difference. I think he's now taken, is it 13 wickets? And he's only really played half a season.
5 games, yeah.
Yeah. The other point to make about the Bairstow situation is that could Bairstow force his way in at the expense of Williamson? I mean, I was looking at their records before I came on air, and Johnny has got more runs. He's played a few more games, I think, or a couple more games. The only difference between the two of them is that Williamson's strike rate is slightly better, or scoring rate of 100, about 135 against 125.
Right, but I think the thing is that no selection decision can be made in a vacuum. And if you say, well, should we leave out Bairstow or should we leave out Williamson? And maybe that's a 50-50 call. But if you have a good replacement for Bairstow, a good Indian replacement for Bairstow, and you don't have a good Indian replacement for Williamson, then that kind of ties your hands in the decision. And maybe that's what it was. They felt, okay, we can replace Bairstow with Saha, who's not much of a downgrade, whereas they don't have that many middle order batsmen. I mean, our friend Garg is playing again, who's kind of been okay, but nothing special.
Well, I
you
wonder
see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, but I wonder about. I mean, it's meant that they brought in Goswami for a first game.
Well, that's because
That's
Saha's
putting a bit
injured.
of pressure on him. Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
When you could have potentially gone back to Bairstow and left
Williamson out.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
I mean, I think you would probably say that Bairstow just edges it as a one-day batsman over Williamson, wouldn't you? Would you or wouldn't you?
Well, yes, but as I say, that's not the only factor in play. It's
I suppose what Williamson brings.
If they were like for like, if they were two number 4 batsmen, then yes, you could just choose whichever was best. But
well, I would say you would then open again with Bairstow, and you would find someone else to put in that middle order. But I guess
there's certainly an argument for it. Yes.
It's an interesting one, and I feel a little bit sorry for Johnny because
I think
he's
it's
done reasonably well,
unfortunate.
and then looks like I mean it is early stages, but it looks like Sunrisers might be able to pull this one off. If they get to the final, he's going to feel deeply upset. We know how sensitive a fellow he is, don't we? That's the thing. I mean, he's done his job up top, and now he finds himself surplus to requirement.
Well, it's all about man management, isn't it?
Well, it is indeed. Anyway, Sundar. Washington Sundar has come to crease. We'll jingle him up in a minute, but Holder is about to bowl to him from round the wicket. Another left-hander plays this off the back foot down to third man and gets his first run. Shall we jingle him, Bear?
His name for his granddad or something with like that. So it turns out that you are looking at Washington Sundar.
Yeah, quite loud. Quite like that in my earphones, I have to say.
Just amazing how many.
Well, half the time you say you can't hear anything, so at least you heard something.
Yeah, well,
amazing how often these outfield catches find themselves in the hands of David Warner. He just always seems to be catching them.
Very annoying. Very annoying. It's kind of annoying that David Warner might get to the final. Holder bowls a full toss on the line of leg stump. It's clipped away by De Villiers, and he has found the gap between deep mid wicket and long on, and he's picked up a rare boundary.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
A 38th, that is, IPL 50 for AB De Villiers, who's been very much on song in this year's tournament.
Yeah, he's batted well. He's 52 off 39, which I think is fine for a strike rate in the circumstances, and he's now still there, and they're going to hope he's going to take off these last 4 overs, maybe get them to 155.
Ooh, yes, well that would be magnificent. He could. 39 runs from the last 5 overs, that's going at about 8 an over. If they were to continue that, they would get 136. 140 is a minimum, really, isn't it, I would think.
Yeah.
Sandeep is going to come back into the attack. He's got 1 over to bowl, none for 14 in his 3 overs. They haven't had to go to any extra bowlers, have they? Natarajan, Nadeem and Rashid have also bowled, along with Jason Holder.
I wonder if they even have any extra bowlers. Do you know, I don't think they really have, unless they gave Williamson a chuck.
Oh, well, Williamson's bowled 2 overs, I read, in the tournament. They went at 12 and over, so I don't think they're going to be turning to him. Here is Sandeep in to Sundar, who plays this really nicely off his hips through mid-wicket. He's going to pick up a couple. It's going to be cut off before getting to the boundary, but they get back for that second. 106 for 5. That was a shot of a class batsman, really. A very nice orthodox turn off the hip.
Yeah, maybe trying to pick up one, get De Villiers on strike, and got a bonus with a 2.
Indeed. So he's on to 3 from 2 balls. Virat Kohli looking very pensive at the moment on the bench. And he is again bowls, this time off the back foot, forces, but only to Williamson, who's got almost as magnificent a beard as me, if more brown. And he does the fielding. There is no run.
Well, you're talking about getting to the final. Don't forget the winners of this game have to play on Sunday.
Indeed.
As well.
Indeed.
Play the Delhi Daredevils to get through to the final.
That's right. I'm not sure I can deal with another Mumbai Indians Delhi match this year.
Yes, that can happen. Yes.
They've not actually been that good, have they?
No.
This is a good length ball which he forces, and Sandeep only half stops it. It runs towards mid-off. They'll come through for a single. So I kind of want whoever wins this to make it through to the final, I have to say. Just for sort of just something a little bit different. Yes, indeed. We were talking about the only English players left in the tournament, while both Bairstow and Moeen. Moeen's having a nightmare. Bairstow can't get in the team, so most of the English interest in that respect has been squashed. But there are still plenty of decent players to watch. Among them may be De Villiers, who's now about to face 52 from 39. In comes Sandeep, bowls, and it's another good length straight delivery. Can't really do very much with it except force it up to long on for another single. 108 for 5, 4 runs from the first 4 balls of this over, so he's doing a very good job, Sandeep.
He's doing a good job. Generally, he's a 0 for 18, 2 balls left. I know that can easily become 0 for 28. We've seen it happen, but
even so, 0 for 28 is a good spell.
Yeah.
7 and over is very good work, I would say. Here he comes again then, just transferring the ball at the last minute to his right hand. Bowls, driven aerially over the top of extra cover, but Rashid Khan is round to his left, fielding on the boundary edge, and it's just 109 for 5. Yeah, they were talking a lot about how good Sandeep's been in the power play as well. I think he'd before today taken 9 wickets in the power play, and some talk about he's one of the most successful power play bowlers in the IPL, I think, in general.
Yeah, swings it just enough, can swing it either way with a new ball.
And he's got good control of length, it would appear to me, in line. Here he is again, bowling right up in the block hole. All De Villiers can do is turn it into the onside. They will be able to get back for a second because it's quite well placed. The man from long on ended up in front of the man coming in from deep mid wicket to do the fielding. 111 for 5, Sunder 5, De Villiers 55, 3 overs to go.
So, Cricketing View says that I've never seen anyone take a bowler apart like AB. Maybe this is what peak Richards was like. Older, wiser watchers like Norcross, Gary Naylor and a few of the guerrilla cricket folks who must have watched a lot of Viv Richards in England will know. Yeah, well, he is a fucking good batsman. Leia says, not to kink shame, but could you please stop talking about playing with each other's lockdown beards?
That's a new one.
Yes, I prefer my homemade root vegetable salt and vinegar chips to the trash that comes in bags containing 90% air, she says as well.
Yeah, I've noticed that about packets of crisps. They do have a lot of air in them these days.
Yeah.
It's not good.
All sweets are smaller now you're older, aren't they?
Well, they are. it's
or
true,
as you get bigger. Maybe because we're all getting bigger.
They make them small. There's a thing. I honestly can't remember which one of these vile companies, chocolate companies it was, Nestle Boy, but one of them
I have no affiliation.
One of them said, we're reducing the size of our such and such bar for health reasons, and then everyone said, but you're keeping it the same price. They said, shut up, we're reducing it.
Yes, exactly. Oh, he's gone.
Ouch.
Well, that wasn't well, I thought it was quite a nice shot from Sundar. Made a little bit of room, it was right up there, and he drove it square, opening the face, but he picked out the man on the cover boundary. He was running in. Natarajan, who's started his 3rd over, has his first wicket of the day, and that's rather unfortunate. It was a rather nice, fluent shot, I have to say.
It was, but as the coaches tell you, you get it up or down, one or the other.
By the time
So a sixth wicket goes down for the RCBs. Abdul Samad was the man coming in off the boundary to take that quite comfortably, and it's looking even more dark and dismal for the RCBs. Now, is this going to be yet another midweek game that fails to live up to its billing? I mean, I suppose it's a bear game. We're at the end of the week, really. It shouldn't really be a midweek. It could be an end of week bear game, this one. Wasn't much of a contest yesterday, was it? So
no.
So we're looking.
Funny. The bear was on comms watching Delhi go to 0 for 3 and chasing for 200. Wasn't happy. Well, a lot resting on Saini, who can swing a bat, I think.
Okay.
And he's going to want to try to get de Villiers on strike.
Yes.
But it becomes easier and easier for the bowling side as you get into lesser and lesser batsmen. Obviously, it's easier to keep them on strike. It's easier to keep them to 1. And, well, even if he's getting de Villiers on strike, it's still only a run a ball from him.
Well, he's got of the 4 men he's allowed inside the circle, he's got 3 of them on the offside. In comes Natarajan, smashed by de Villiers, but he didn't really get hold of it. And actually, it's probably a good job that he didn't, because otherwise it would have been caught by Warner coming off the fence at long on. It just dropped short of him, fortunately for de Villiers. He moves on to 56. I think he was trying to hit that squarer than it ended up, and was perhaps just a little bit late on the shot. Warner almost got round and could have caught it if he'd have been in a position a few metres off the fence. As it was, he was right back. Brings Navdeep Saini down. He's only got 20 runs in IPL cricket.
Oh dear, I must have been confusing him for someone else, because I'm sure I'd seen him hit a few sixes in the innings, but evidently not. No, that's a problem.
He's got the telltale plain bat.
Yeah, and you've got 4 spinners, and now you've got someone with 20 lifetime runs coming in 8.
Natarajan bowls. He clips this straight, foolish delivery straight to mid-wicket, and there is no run, and de Villiers will be cursing things from the other end. He really needs to be the man facing as many of these deliveries as possible as we get down to the final couple of overs.
No, those are not impressive stats for a number 8.
No, not really.
They don't have much more. Zampa, Siraj and Chahal.
It's all down to de Villiers. Short one, played down with a cross bat to third man by Saini, so he gets his first run, which gives de Villiers potentially 2 balls from this 18th over to wreak havoc if he possibly can. 56 off 42 here hasn't really come to life, but that's because what's been happening at the other end. Yep, time is going.
Imagine if he gets out now, they're 113 for 7 and they've just had it.
Yeah, it's a very tricky situation for him, and David Warner realises
still got to swing. I think there's only 14 balls left, and they have to try to get some kind of score. I mean, he needs 2 runs a ball to get to 140.
Well, I'm just thinking, what have we got? We've got 14 balls. If he could hit 5 of those for 6, that gets them over 140. Here comes Natarajan into de Villiers, and he's bowled in middle stump for 6. Absolutely wonderful ball from Natarajan. And poor old A.B. de Villiers, and poor old Virat Kohli, who looks like he wants to hide away, watching his main man come off bowled for 56, 113 for 7.
There's a massive grin on the Bears' face in the studio.
Rueful grin.
Yeah, I think he is rueful. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Quite well bowled. It's angled in a little bit, and de Villiers just trying to clear his front leg. Maybe a bit too desperate to try and get under that, manufacture one of those 5-6s Hendo was asking for. And, now they're in real trouble. I mean, honestly, there's not much more they can do from here but try to score 18 off the last 2 overs and 130, and I don't see that many terrors in the wickets.
Well, Ravi Nair says this RCBE innings is pining for the fjords. It's pushing up the daisies. It's a non-innings.
It's an X-innings.
It has ceased to be.
Well, it very, very soon will completely cease to be. Out to the middle comes Mohammad Siraj. I'm not sure what his batting record is, but I don't imagine it's that impressive.
No.
Maybe we're going to get some details on that very shortly. He's just taking guard. I'm not even sure if he knows which stump he's taking guard on. He seemed to point to something for the umpire's benefit there. Nasser then, final ball of his third over. He's picked up 2 wickets now. And here he is into Siraj, who aims a big booming drive at that, but gets absolutely nowhere near it. And through the keeper it goes. So 2 wickets in the over, 2 runs only. RCB with 2 to go are 113 for 7. Nestlers.
Let's have a look. Warren says the ICC learns the Bear is going to commentate on the Australia T20 World Cup. Realises it's going to be a disaster. What on earth can we do?
That was yeah. I think it's a fair point. So it'll be Saini to face. Is Holder going to come back into the attack to finish off?
I would think so. I don't think, as you say, they don't use the 5 bowlers. I don't think they really have any others, which is taking a chance with injury. But if you do trust those bowlers, it's
if you're
batsmen.
if you're RCB, do you go spin-tastic in the second innings? Do you just put the spinners on and hope that by taking pace off the ball?
Having picked 4 of them, you'd think so.
I wonder if they'll do that. It is going to be Holder back to bowl his final over. 3 from 20 from his 3 so far. He's coming into Saini. Bowls a short one. He flaps it away down to the man on the 45. It could be a run out. No, they've got through. And the throw was coming in from Sandeep, which wasn't accurate. So they scrape their way to 114 for 7 with 11 balls remaining. 2 new batsmen, and batsmen may not be the best description of them anyway.
No, did I say 18 off the last 2 overs? I think I'm going to downgrade that to about 12 because I can't see a 6 in either of these guys.
Can't see a 6. I could see an edged 4. Yes. I can see an edged 4 there. Big swing, gets the edge, goes through first or second slip and picks up 4. But that's really the only place that I can see a boundary. Siraj facing, and this one is coming up towards his sternum. He guides it down to third man for another single. Maybe singles. I mean, what do we get if we get singles? We get maybe 129, 128?
Yeah.
Well, singles for the next 3 balls and then maybe the big hits. He's only made 36 runs in his IPL career, so you've got 2 men out there.
Why was
one with 30 runs? Well, exactly. He's better than Saini according to the figures. Anyway,
might as well just fling the bat at every ball.
Well, you might as well, but it's not always that easy when you've got someone like Jason Holder.
Exactly.
Putting it right up in your sternum. This one actually is fuller, and it's swung away down to deep backward square. They'll pick up another single.
Where did this all go wrong for RCB? They've only had 2 scores in double figures, and one of them is Finch 32 off 30, which didn't do a lot for them.
Well, I think what it was is just as they were about to try and increase the run rate, they turned to the left arm spinner. I've forgotten his name off.
Shabaz Nadeem,
Shabaz Nadeem, and he bowled really well. This is a short ball which Siraj makes room for and then flaps at, but makes no contact. Through to the keeper it goes. He was just bowling really flat, and every time they were moving back outside the leg stump, he was just following them. They didn't really have any idea what to do with him, and he bowled really well, I thought.
Up to that point, they'd only scored like 45 off 8 or 9 overs.
Yeah, I mean, it had been pretty slow, but you just felt with people like De Villiers and Finch there, if they had more...
I think that's what they thought.
Well, yes, indeed. Right up in the block hole, again, smeared to mid-wicket, where Rashid fields. I don't think they did get a run on that occasion.
I think they did.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think so. Well, look, I mean, there's no hard and fast rule, but going at the run a ball for any extended period of time is a risk, and the risk is that what's happened today happens. Your set batsmen get out or don't get enough strike or something, Moen's run out first ball and just suddenly your innings is going nowhere, and that can very easily happen.
Well, again, that's it. I mean, you've put Kohli up into a position that he hasn't batted in this tournament this year, as Holder comes in to finish the over, and it's swung down to long on for, again, just a single, 119 for 7. Losing him in the manner that they did, caught down the leg side, little flick of the glove, a little bit unfortunate, I suppose. And also Panikkal, who's batted really well in this series, went very quickly after him, didn't he? Again, Holder, he tried to pull one over mid wicket and didn't quite get enough on it. It was caught. And losing those two, Kohli just because of his reputation and just what he can do, and the way that Padikkal has been batting in this tournament, was a massive blow to them.
And other people didn't manage to stand up and take up the slack.
Indeed not. There is talk though that RCB have been the slowest, isn't it, from 7 to 14 in this
quite possibly
in this
yes,
tournament.
Yeah, I could certainly
struggled in that
believe
area. Natarajan will bowl the final over of the RCB innings, which will be laid to rest, and we should all bow our heads probably. It's going to be Saini to face. He's got 4 from 5. The run rate has crept up above 6, and here is the left armour in bowls, and he aims a swing at that one. Isn't fortunate enough to get a thick outside edge, which should have taken it flying away to third man. He misses it completely.
Blimey, their 10 and 11 can't be up to much.
Yes, indeed. We're having a look at the rather impressive IPL trophy. It's a big beast, isn't it?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to wear that on your head.
No. It's hard to drink out of, I imagine, as well, really. But it's a huge thing. It's not unlike the FA Cup. In again. Oh, he has managed to get hold of this. Over the top of backward point. That might be... God, blimey, it's a boundary. Who'd have thought?
No one more surprised than the batsman.
Well done, son.
Yeah, well done. He got the front leg out of the way.
Yep.
And really gave it everything. Carved it away, really. Well over the top of backward point. 2 or 3 bounces, and he had a 4.
Yeah, I think the bowler would be better served bowling left arm round and bowling it into these batsmen.
Yes, you could be right there. If he gets his line a little bit wrong, gives them a bit of width, you can always cramp them, can't you? A couple coming around the wicket.
That they now set a field for that shot, so he's going to keep it the same.
Here he comes. In bowls, it's a full toss, driven straight to extra cover. They will run through for the single, 123 for 7. Saini goes on to 9.
We got any spare Gorilla Cricket stickers we can send him to put on his bat?
We haven't got any Gorilla Cricket stickers. We should get some stickers.
We had some before. I had one of my bats.
Oh, we did for the bat. We did have one for the bat that was made specially by Robert Pack. But we don't have any sort of car stickers or anything like that, if that's what you're talking about. No, you're not. You're talking about bat stickers. Right, he's gone well across there. This is an extraordinary shot. He was trying to play the scoop, but they just followed him. Somehow he got something of it. It looped up and over the man on the 45 at third man. And they've got back for a couple of runs, would you believe? Extraordinary stuff. I think he had... I mean, he was out by the return crease by the time he made contact with that. Extraordinary, but he managed to manufacture it.
He had to go so early to manufacture that shot that the bowler just naturally... In fact, the bowler had just bowled at the stumps. He would have been anywhere near it.
Well, he wouldn't have had time to get back, I don't think, would he?
No.
He's in again. He tries it again, and he's done it. Oh, he's done
good shot. Good shot.
He's played a very good little scoop paddle, and he's picked himself up another 4 for the over. 129 for 7. Sony goes to 9. Siraj goes to 8. And we have 1 ball remaining. We just had 1 6 in this innings, would you believe? 10 4s and 1 6. That's how well the Sunrisers are bowled, and perhaps how negatively, in a sense, the RCBs have batted after some early wickets. But,
well, they have bowled well, to be fair.
They have bowled very well. I mean, you're always going to struggle when Rashid... If you haven't already got a few runs when Rashid comes on, that makes things very difficult indeed. The third man on the 45 actually goes to about on the 60, and this is whipped away. The final ball through mid wicket. Holder comes in. They're going to chase back for the second. They're going to get it. They're going to set Sunrisers a target of 132 to win, a little bit under 7 and over. And that is that. Saini remains 9 not out. Siraj 10 not out. Good little effort from them. 38 runs from the last 5 overs, 3 wickets went down. The big one, of course, was when de Villiers was bowled. And so, yeah, what do you say? I think it's going to be very tough for the RCBs, and I think the only hope they have is to take pace off the ball from the very start, try and get some early wickets with that, and see if they can put a bit of pressure on the Sunrisers. Anyone else got any thoughts on that?
Well, the problem for them is... they haven't got the destructive opening bowler that other teams have. They haven't got a Bumrah or a Rabada or anyone like this. They've got these two guys, actually, two sort of okay Indian seamers, and then they've gone with the 4 spinners.
Yeah.
But that's really to try to either defend a proper score or bowl first. It's not the attack you want to try to defend 130.
It's going to be difficult, but it'll be interesting to see how they approach it. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time. Until then, you are going to get to listen to What the Bear?
We're going Anindo and Ashley Gray talking with Tony about cricket writing.
Okay, all right. See you in a little while.
Okay.
Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Guerrilla Cricket.
Welcome to this Guerrilla Cricket podcast. Now, in March 1706, a man called William Goldwyn published a slender volume of his early verse called Musée Juvenile. Inside was a poem that would lend him a very strange kind of immortality, 95 lines in Latin, which that were titled Incertamen Pile, on match at ball. Why should we care? Well, as far as anyone knows, it is the very first piece of cricket literature. Cricket has a genuine appeal around the world, and today is certainly the topic of conversation for my two guests who are joining me from Singapore and Sydney. Most importantly, they are both best-selling writers about the game that we love. And I'm very happy to say that I've been lucky enough to record extensive interviews with both about their work. So today, we will of course discuss their latest books, but we're primarily going to dive into the pain, rewards and sheer hard graft of the writer's craft. Firstly, Anindo Dutta is a banker and now writer and guerrilla cricket commentator who for a while has been keeping the likes of Sourav Ganguly and MS Dhoni off Amazon India's top spot with his latest book, The Greatest Year, the story of India's 1971 tours to England and the West Indies. Anindo, hello, and a very warm welcome.
Hello, Tony. Thank you very much for having me here. Delighted, as always, to be with you.
Delighted to have you. And with him, from Sydney, Ashley Gray. Ashley's a sports writer whose stories have appeared in Wisden, Fox Daily, The Daily Telegraph, The Guardian, and All Out Cricket. Most recently, he's written The Unforgiven, Mercenaries or Missionaries, the untold story of West Indian cricketers who toured apartheid South Africa, which has been nominated for a Wisden Book of the Year prize. So, Ashley, a huge welcome to you as well.
Oh, lovely to be here, Tony, yet again, and looking forward to our chat.
Well, let's then. Shall we start with you, Ashley? Because what we're really going to focus on today is the art of creating stories and writing, and particularly about cricket. Ernest Hemingway once said, "There's no rule of how to write. Sometimes it comes easily and perfectly. Sometimes it's like drilling rock and then blasting it away with charges." But let's start, if we may, with you, Ashley, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to be a writer about cricket.
Yeah. Well, I was always a cricket fan as a kid. Perhaps what you would now call a cricket tragic. I combed the statistic books and for the right stats of the players that I loved. I used to play as well. I read all the biographies. I used to get Cricketer and Wisden when they'd come out to Australia, 3 months late by a ship. Yeah, and obviously I'd watch it all on TV as well, so, I mean, I don't think I was particularly different to a lot of other boys growing up in Australia, late 70s, early 80s, that kind of period, and, it left an indelible mark on me. Those guys that I admired then, like the Lillies and Thompsons and Chappells and Marshes, I still love them now, I mean, they were heroes to me, and they still stand out as different to the men of today in some way or other. They just seem realer. Maybe it was just because I was just a little boy, but even now that they seem like, that they're from a different age, a different epoch. So it's kind of in my blood. My cricket career was I was coordinated. I could hit the ball, and occasionally I could do something with the ball bowling. But the way cricket was organised back then, especially in Australia, was that often it was up to dads to coach sides, and dads always had favourites. And if you weren't in with the in crowd, you didn't always get a bat. So sometimes you'd be fielding for like 3 weekends in a row, but I suppose it was character building, standing at, swapping from third man to fine leg for an hour, in the very hot, blazing Australian sun. But, ultimately, in the end, I probably wasn't good enough. But, I loved it, and I loved playing. And I still play with my son out in the backyard, and I love taking him to games and scoring. And, it's just, I think the thing about cricket, as opposed to, say, football or soccer or rugby league, which is also popular here, it's more of a game of the mind, and that appealed to me. It's a dreamer's game to some degree. When you are at fine leg, there's a lot of time thinking. And,
there is. It's a very psychological game. So, but you too often got the Adil Rashid Award under Joe Root for turning up and neither batting nor bowling, by the sounds of it. Let's move on to Anindo. Now, obviously, we kind of know each other a bit now because you've been the seer of some of our cricket commentaries. But pretend we don't know each other, Anindo. Again, it's the same story for you. I remember asking you this before, but from the world of international finance to the world's best spin bowlers, was that a huge journey or a smaller journey than you might think?
Well, I think it was an unimagined journey, more precisely. I didn't set out to be a banker, I became one. And somehow you can say I didn't set out to be a writer and became one. So it's just at different parts of my life. I was a banker until fairly recently for 26 years, for much of which I didn't write at all, unless I was writing things for my clients or for my bank. And a feedback that I always got was that it was interesting reading even when I was writing on very dry finance, and I was a trader for most of my life, so I was writing on trading. But I never thought much of it. And then a few years ago, I wrote an article for one of the Australian websites, and it came out, and there was immediately I got a lot of feedback saying that they really liked it, etc. Then I got a call from Kersi Meher Homji, another Sydney-based writer, and he said he loved the writing when I'd written a couple of articles, and he actually picked up one of them and said that there's a book in it, and I'd never contemplated writing a book. So it was a 1,500-word article. And I was like, Kersi, you've got to be joking. I can't turn a 1,500-word article into a book. And he said, no, it's there. I've written 14 books, so his 15th was yet to be published, and I can tell you that there's a book in it. I said, okay. So I did something as basic as call him back again and ask him how he structures a book, because I didn't have the remotest idea how to do it. And he told me how he does it, and of course he put the caveat there that you've got to find your own way, and so I've found my own way since then. And then I started writing. This was about 6-7 years ago, something like that, and then I found it to be an all-encompassing passion, if you like. So I was working full time. I was writing in the morning. I was writing at late at night whenever I got a chance. And the nature of what part of cricket interested me made it more difficult, because I've always been interested in the history of the game, which obviously involved a lot of research. And the one thing that I've been always very careful of, even when I wrote for financial matters, was that I shouldn't get a single fact wrong, and which makes life very difficult when you're that nitpicky about something. But then you have to be when you do research.
Especially with cricket.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
it's-
And you're going to be found out very quickly if you don't, right?
Well, it's a rich theme.
Exactly.
Which is good for all. It's interesting that, from three of us, I think, two of us, probably me and you and Indo, have taken the path via other industries and things and sort of worked our way into a hobby becoming kind of a work.
Yeah.
Actually, perhaps a little bit different for you in that you are by trade a journalist and a writer. Is that fair?
Yeah, and a sub-editor as well.
I always think that must be a thankless task.
Yeah, the thing about being a sub-editor is that people would say to me with this book, they'd say, look, just pump it out, just write it and get it done, then go back and correct it and hone those sentences, make it sing. But the trouble is, when you're a sub-editor, you're used to polishing as you go, So I couldn't do that because I would feel uncomfortable knowing that something I just left wasn't perfect, in my eyes, So I couldn't go on that way, and I had to do it this way. And people would say to me, "You're crazy," but that's just the way I did it. And in the end, I got there. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But that's one of the sort of drawbacks of the trade, I suppose, is that you learn how to do things in a certain way, and that kind of works for me. But I've always, like I said, I've been doing it for 20 odd years now, so I've always been sub-editing and writing, and not always on sport, not always on cricket either. But I think having to write in different tones for different publications and on different subjects sort of rounds you out as a writer as well, because you can draw on a lot more different expressions and ways of putting together stories as well, because one magazine might have a certain style that you have to adhere to, or it might have a certain way of structuring things, but the newspaper will have a different style and structure again, depending on which one it is. So I suppose that's been the benefit of my
That's an interesting. You've touched on an interesting point there. So the idea of style. When you're sub-editing or writing for someone else, if it's advertising copy or if it's even autobiography writing or any of those things, you have to sort of adopt a different persona, that of your audience or the editorial style of the publication you're in. But when you start to write your own books, it's you, even if the subject matter is very relevant to a particular group or a particular audience. It's your way of putting it across. So I think one thing I'd like to ask you both is your books are or the books certainly the ones I've been reading have similarities and differences. One is very much about a history of a. Are we back?
Yes.
I thought you were going to do an Indo there and just not bother to play the second innings. It all seemed to go. Well, much as I love listening to me do an interview with, in fact, an Indo. In fact, that's the closest he's been to a IPL second innings, just by dint of doing an innings break interview. Hello, Hendo.
Hello. Have I not spoken to you today?
Remotely, I think possibly yes.
Otherwise,
in person, definitely not. No.
Right. Okay. Hello.
Hello. How lovely to see you and your magnificent beard.
Yes, it's getting there, isn't it? It's getting there.
We're getting where. If you mean there being your ankles, it certainly is. Yeah.
Do you know? I take my beard inspiration from Jose Oak.
His is a magnificent growth. Anyway, we're underway. 132 to win off 120, and that could well be a wide to start. Indeed it is. Our old friend Pistol spreads his wings wide, and it's 1 to the score without troubling the bat. but the Bear's busy fixing one of his bets, I think, and therefore we won't get a jingle. So we'll just press on, Hendo, as is often the way when the Bear's distracted. You never know what's quite going to happen.
Is the Bear supposed to be doing social media, or is that me?
That's a very good question. Bear with me, whole caller, as the bat is dropped on this one and pushed away into the offside. They take a very
Well, on the
quick
rotor
single.
I've got.
Should be Nestlers.
It should be Nestlers. Where is Nestlers? Is he taking his groceries in again?
He's gone missing in action.
He's gone missing action. Well, I mean, I can come on temporarily because, you know, did you see what I put on the WhatsApp group?
No, I've been concentrating on cricket, funnily enough.
Well, no, it was from. I thought about it while we were off air, but Farong said, "Evening all from Dakar. This is at the beginning of the game. The Bears in the chair. The result will be something like this: RCB 7 for 132.
In comes Siraj. This is wide of Goswami's off stump, and it's left alone through to the keeper.
Wow, that's uncanny,
isn't it? That's so prescient. He was 1 run out, and he also says that they'll get it for 2 in 17 overs, which means it's going to be a really fucking dull game.
Which means I'll only get to commentate on 1 over of cricket.
I think we'll have to retitle him Mystic Farong.
Mystic Farong, that sounds good, doesn't it? Actually,
Mystic Farong. You can just see him sort of some sort of guru style figure as this one is steered away by Goswami to cover. Again, no run on this occasion. Warner just a single. Goswami yet to get off the mark. They've developed a bit of a habit, more than once in this tournament, I think, haven't they, of chasing down totals without losing a wicket.
Yeah, I mean, they were really good in the game the other day, wasn't it? The final game.
Well, yeah,
Riders, wasn't it?
Against, one would suggest, a slightly distracted and less than pumped Mumbai Indians. This one is a swing and a miss, and I think the edge is taken. Indeed, the finger's gone up. Goswami's gone. It's taken by AB de Villiers, and much like the RCBs, the Sunrisers have lost an early wicket. It's not Warner, but it is the new man, Goswami.
Maybe the Bear will get a decent game.
Well, it doesn't have to be long to be good.
Bear, it might help actually if you could just hold your hand up in a sort of way to say if that.
I'm not sure that's the Queen Mother wave now. I mean,
no, that wasn't what I was trying to ask.
To interpret for that.
I'll send him it.
That was the jingle.
I'll send him.
I heard the start of it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for coming back and joining us, Nestlers.
I know.
You look
Sorry,
like you put a different coat on. Have you put a coat on?
No.
Is that because you're at the top of a mountain?
It's a jacket.
Oh, okay.
It's a shirt jacket.
A shirt jacket.
It's neither one thing nor the t'other.
Oh,
it doesn't know what it is.
Where are you today? I can see you're on top of a mountain.
They are the mountains over the back of my sister's place in Spain.
Oh wow! What have you then? Wow, fabulous. We're all going to cycle. We have to get like a 200 seat. What's a multi-seated tandem? Obviously, tandem's 2.
The goodies.
Yeah, exactly. But for about 12 of us. Anyway, Manish Pandey is the new man at the crease. Not going well so far for the Sunrisers. They've lost an early wicket in their chase. The Bear is about to conduct a jingle, and here it comes.
Here comes Manish Pandy, in Manish Pandy land.
We heard that one, Bear. But thank you. I love the movements that go with it. As this one is spit inside edgy, drop down into the onside, and there will be no run. And
I just asked the Bear if the jingle is playing. I've asked him to do a sort of free hit sort of signal so that we know to be quiet. It's very difficult. I can't hear the jingles most of the time these days.
No, it was a sort of a Orsign dance he was doing. It was kind of entertaining to watch. As this one is in, and Pandey just again drops about onto it, pushes it away into the onside. It's the end of the over. It's been a successful over indeed. Just 2 runs and a wicket for Siraj. Goswami has gone. Pandey has taken his place at the crease. David Warner has only got 1 to his name, and the RCBs will feel a little bit more pumped. Nestlers, what you got from the top of your mountain?
Wrong says, well, that was close to the money in RCB. 7 for 132, made 7 for 131. Thanks for the mention, Bear. Just remember, it's all about PayTM and strategic tyre advertising. Hope my 2 for is wrong and we get a decent fight by RCB, but their bowling has been poor, to say the least.
Well, you've got Chahal, who's I think the leading spinner in the tournament this year, isn't he? He's 20 wickets. I think he's doing slightly better even than Rashid Khan. Although perhaps I don't think he's got the economy rate of Rashid Khan, but he's certainly got a wicket or two more than him.
No, I mean, didn't take a wicket in the first innings to do Rashid Khan, but he was he was decent and Leo Economical number 22.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he's been. I mean, they were talking earlier on the television about if you look at his economy rates over the last 3 years that he's played in the IPL, and it's gone from sort of 6.5 to 6.4, and this year to 5.5. It's incredible.
Well, we're going to see Navdeep Saini. How do we say it? Saini. 26 matches, 17 wickets, and an economy rate of just a shade over 8 for him this IPL. Right arm over, quickish medium, and the bat is dropped on it by David Warner. He wanted to run. In fact, he looked pretty angry with Manish Pandey that he wasn't on the same page. I had a feeling Warner thought there was a single there and was a bit disappointed that his partner wasn't on the same wavelength.
I think his partner was right there.
Well, I think you're probably right there, Nestlers. But be interested to see that again. Definitely thought Warner looked a little bit. I mean, he always looks a bit angry in a sort of beaverish kind of way. But I thought he definitely was there. In comes Saini to the left-hander. This is steered wide of backward point. There's a man down there. It's Adam Zampa, and it will be a single. So Warner does get the single he wanted, but just one ball later, it will bring Pandey back onto strike.
My vocalisation on both balls would have been on the first one. No! The second one, yep, just the one as we pass.
That's what I like. Good, clear calling. None of this yes, no, after you, Claude nonsense.
I was good at calling.
You can be very, very clear when you say sorry.
Yeah. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, really, really sorry. Yes, no, really sorry. You just don't know how sorry happens. In fact, sorry seems to be. That was what you say. So yes, no, sorry seems to be the hardest word.
I literally thought that's where you were going. I thought you were about to say sorry seems to be the hardest word. In comes Saini. This one is lofted up over backward point down to third man. Well judged, actually. There is a man down there, but he got enough to fall well short, but to clear the fielder in the ring. So they're able to get a single from it. Controlled that pretty well, I think, Hendo, didn't he?
Yeah, nice shot. Very nice shot. I mean, Manish Pandey is one of those players he never seems to be spectacular these days, but he seems to get 30s, doesn't he? Seems to get a lot of 30s.
Well, not many may put runs on the board for the RCBs, so two or three 30s will get them most of the way there, the Sunrisers. This one is just away into the offside from Warner, no run.
Almost forgotten, of course, the fact that 12 years ago he was the first Indian to score a century in the IPL.
Was he really? Good Lord.
Yep, he was indeed. That was, I think, in South Africa, wasn't it? When they played that year in South Africa.
Ah, goodness. There is no end to the depth of your research, which I always admire.
Extraordinary. It's almost as if I was reading it off a screen.
Different screen to me. In comes Saini. This one is slightly short. Warner was again looking to work it, I think, away into leg. Wasn't able to do it, and there'll be no run again. Yeah, they never really got going, did they? The RCBs, 131 for 7. Finch 56 off 43. ABD 56 off 43. Finch 32, and that was pretty much it in terms of run making. They'd only got 32 for 2 by the end of the power play.
I think there's those 2 early wickets, and they've been very reliant on Padikkal to get the runs at the top this year, haven't they? He's done very well, and he didn't come off this time.
Very much so. In comes Saini again. Right bang on the off stump of the left-handed Warner, who's able just to push it back to the bowler. It's the end of the second over, so they're going at a mighty 2 and over. They'll need to do better than that, and they'll need to keep wickets in hand. Not much better than that, mind you.
Blair says, come on, Nestlers. A shirt jacket is a piece of clothing in the shape of a jacket, but made from materials that are normally used to make a shirt. It's not that complicated. She's very feisty, our Leia, isn't she, about things? It's just a top then. I don't know what the fuck it is. Who cares?
It's just I thought you'd literally dress for mountaintop weather. That was all. That was.
Well, you wouldn't want to wear this on a mountain. Bloody hell, you'd freeze to death.
It's too well. Okay, it looks heavier. Don't forget, I can only see you in a little square box. That's going to be a wide, I would imagine. Yes, signalled as such by our old friend Pistol. Way down leg it went.
Wide.
Oh, that time we did hear the jingle.
Annie Chavers joined us on Facebook.
Marvellous.
Hello, the beautiful bearded boys.
Oh.
How much would you like to get hold of this, Annie?
There's an offer you can't refuse.
Wish I hadn't heard that. As this one is away down leg side again, and there's a shout. There's another wide. Pistol's going to take off in a minute as he flaps and flaps.
I do keep trying to get people to stroke it, but they decline on a regular basis.
Was your cat had a go at it?
Was. Who was I talking to Annie about? I was talking to somebody. I'll think of it in a minute. As Siraj is going to be in to Pandy, who guides us to point once more. There is no run. Neymar Batlins. I did an interview with Neymar Batlins, and we were talking about county cricket matters. He's a big Annie Chave fan. Neymar Batlins is a big Annie Chave fan, which got us onto the subject of me asking him, Annie, if you're listening, does he subscribe to County Cricket Matters, and if not, that he should. So check your inbox to find out if he's followed up on that. In comes Siraj again, steered once more straight to Moeen Ali at point, and once more there is no run. So we've had 2 wides and 2 dot balls in this over, which makes the wides all the more frustrating, I suspect, for Siraj, because in between them he's bowled 2 excellent deliveries. Tight, economical stuff. But this is it's rather like the Sunrisers bowled. Of course, they did get early wickets, and so too have the RCBs. So this might be a closer contest than the Bear was hitherto concerned that he would see. That one is quicker. Pandy didn't seem to play that with any great degree of confidence. Ball came back at him slightly, right on middle stump. We're going to have another look. Pitch is outside of it's big inside edge onto his thigh, which is what made it look precisely like the fact that he wasn't in control of the shot, which indeed he wasn't. A lot of excitement from both Kohli and ABD, but that big inside edge meant there was really nothing to get concerned about. There's a slip in place. This is pulled by Pandy. He's got that. He's got in all of that. It's way over mid wicket, and it is one of these.
One talk over the line, sweet Jesus. One talk over the line.
That spoiled the over a bit, didn't it?
Well, it did. It's been a bit mixed bag, as they say. A couple of wides, dot balls, inside edge that could have easily have either hit the stumps or taken the leg first, and then he drops one just a bit too short in the right wheelhouse for Pandy, and away it went. So 12 for 1. They'll feel a little bit better now, all the Sunrisers, having cleared the boundary sponge for the first time this innings. Siraj in, waited for nicely by Pandy, and steered past backward point, who didn't really seem to put in the most convincing of dives, and it will enable them to take a single, take the score on to 13.
And that might be the shot that actually gets David Warner going as well. Just having played a shot like that showed that it's possible against this bowling. Just lift your confidence a little bit, both the striker and the non-striker, I would say.
Yeah, well, it's
very short, wasn't it?
It was. It's a strange over that's been a bit of a mixed bag. Virat Kohli looks at his gremlinist, angriest expression there. So clearly didn't think it was a good ball. This one is guided, but guided straight to point. Adam Zampa with that mullety look of his, with the hair flowing out the back from behind his cap, does the fielding. The score stays on 13. It's the end of the third over, and we will catch up with the man up the mountain.
It's all gone very quiet. There's nothing. Oh, only Chave's come back. Shave it off and send it to me, Hendo, she says.
With a saucer of milk to feed it with.
along with your toenails. I don't think. Why are toenails so revolting?
Short of finding a severed head in a box, that's about the worst thing you could think of to get in the post.
Why are they so revolting when they're off the toe, but they're not when they're on it?
Oh no, they're still revolting when they're on it. To be fair,
are they?
Yeah, I think so.
You don't
pretty
look
much.
at them and go, ooh.
Oh, some people do.
Senior's going to be in. Pandy has all nearly holed out to mid-on. In fact, it's through mid-on and away for 4. Bump ball, or was that?
No, it was a catch.
It was a chance. And
just short of it.
Just short, wasn't it?
Yeah. Might have done better to get his body behind that rather than letting it run away. But it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Well, he kind of ended up nutmegging himself in the end. He didn't really sort of approach it with any great conviction, I don't think. No. So, Saini's going to be in again. And that one is a very good riposte from him because it's full and right on the middle stump of Manish Pandey, who can only push it back to the bowler for no run. 17 for 1.
A friend of mine who was a landlord of a pub in Holborn started a quiz night, and at the end of the year, he the winning team, one of the prizes that he didn't tell anyone about was a little jar of all his toenail clippings for the year.
Oh. Surely, why would that be a prize?
Because that's Ian, and he's fucking mental.
Did you say a pub in Holborn?
Yeah.
This one is pulled back with a square. They will take a single. Which pub is that then?
It was the one in Leather Lane that used to be called the Jack of Diamonds. It's got a different name now. It's got like a balcony outside.
Yeah. Yep, I remember it.
Ian used to run that. You probably went in there when he was the landlord.
I could well have done.
Yeah, and him and Sarah used to run it, and that's Ian all over there. He's nuts.
He's nuts. Well, you wouldn't want them in a. You certainly wouldn't want them in a jar as a surprise present, would you? It'd be hard to pull out with his toenail clippings or whatever it was. 18 for 1, halfway through the 4th over. We don't think run scoring is necessarily straightforward. A slip is in place as Warner pulls, but he pulls straight to mid-wicket, and there's a misfield, and they will come through to take the single. Never run on a misfield, they say, but that's very old-school thinking. In this form of the game, you kind of have to. If the chance presents itself, you're going to take it. And it did present itself right there. So 113 off 98 is the equation. Very, very achievable. Just the 1 wicket down. You do feel RCB, well, we were saying, Hendo, par at Abu Dhabi, 162.7. So best part of 30 runs south of that suggests the Sunrisers should be favourites. As Saini is in, and that's cut to back the point, no run. Add to that, of course, the fact that they've lost their last 4 games, the RCB, and they lost them all batting first, which again suggests they're not very good at setting totals, and they're not very good at restricting the team that's chasing them, certainly not based on recent form.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have a choice in the matter, did they? Because Sunrisers won the toss, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. But yeah, Manish Pandey's an interesting character. What's he got this year? 380 runs at 34.5. It's pretty good. Pretty good. 350s. He's one of those who seems to go a little bit under the radar. Gets decent scores, but you don't really notice him.
He does. Saini's going to be in again. Right arm over the wicket. Driven through extra cover by Pandey. Under the radar, over the radar, through the radar, doesn't matter. It's a gorgeous shot and it's 4 runs. We were watching Quentin de Kock yesterday, and so much of his innings in the early part was beautifully played 4s all the way along the ground. I mean, proper cricket shots that were still keeping the run rate really ticking over at a good old lick.
Yeah, I mean that I was going to say, gone under the radar. He shouldn't go under the radar with shots that like the one he just played, because that
was beautiful,
wasn't it? Really, I mean, you can use the word caressed, it's a slightly showy word to use in that instance, but it really was. It was caressed. He didn't try to hit it too hard. He just placed it beautifully and timed it superbly.
Well, anyway, we're going to see a change of bowling, and for the first time this innings, it's our chance to see Washington, who really you feel should be wearing orange somehow, with a name like that. But there we go.
He's named for his granddad or something with like that. So it turns out that you are looking at Washington Sundar.
We are indeed looking at Washington Sundar.
Heard all of that.
And it's funny, some you hear all of them, some you don't hear any of them, some you just hear snippets of them. It's very strange. 23 for 1 anyway. There's a ring of 4 inside the circle on the offside. And David Warner knows they're there and has just cut the ball between the 3rd and 4th of them, and it's away for one of these.
Give it to me 2 times. Give it to me 3 times. Yeah. Give it to me 4 times.
Beautiful shot from David Warner, but it's rather sat up to be hit. So what's our friend Washington got up his sleeve this time around? He's around the wicket. This one's quicker, cut straight to cover this time. Aaron Finch does the fielding, and there will be no run. 27 for 1 are the Sunrisers. Bale's taken off. A.B. de Villiers carefully replaces them.
Warren wonders if Hendo shaves off his beard and sells it as a merkin, or maybe several.
A merkin.
I might have it stitched into a coat.
A shirt jacket.
Yeah, absolutely, a shirt jacket.
Leia wonders, collecting toenail clippings. What are you up to? Building a ship?
I'm not sure why you would collect.
He did it as a joke for the surprise.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He didn't he didn't have it to hand.
What's going on here?
Presumably you'd have to have collected them over time.
Yeah, it's about a year. He started the Triv quiz to go, and it lasted a year, and he did it the whole year.
So hang on. Now we've got a free. Now what's that? It's a very good question. What has actually happened here?
Free hit.
A free hit, but why?
Was
why
it
not?
maybe one person too many outside the circle, something like that?
That may well have been it. David Warner is going to face Washington Sundar, who is around the wicket. Warner smashes this, but smashes it straight. Well, pretty much to square leg, and I don't think he'll get a run. Oh, he get a single. They will take a single.
I think
not what they wanted from a free hit, though.
I've got a question for you about getting out on a free hit.
Yes.
What is the thinking behind the fact that you can get out on a free hit from a run out, but not caught or bowled?
Well, it's the old it's the old law that goes with no balls, isn't it?
So it's just they've just transferred that to free hit.
Would appear so, yeah.
I think it's fair. It just seems logical to me. I've never thought to question it, as this one is driven away nicely by Pandey again through extra cover. It's going to go the distance. Yes, it is. 4 runs.
Well, it got me thinking. Because you can be bowled, you can be caught. What's the problem with being? Why run out?
I think because it's a different phase of play. So if you're facing the ball, but suddenly the other batsman has also come into play as this one is steered wide of the bowler. It will go to mid-off and it will take a single halfway through the 4th over. If you couldn't be run out, you could just run millions of runs, says
That's true.
with no hint of exaggeration whatsoever.
9,999.
Yes. Indeed, we're looking at the Fair Play League. I have literally no idea how you qualify for that or what you need to do. Not take bribes, probably, as this one is straight to mid-off. Throw comes in from Captain Kohli, and it means there's a dot ball. Very welcome. So we've had 2 4s, a wide, and 2 singles and a dot so far in this over from our man in Washington, or our man who is Washington. As this one's steered back at a square leg, they take 1, they think about 2, and an exchange of glances suggests to both stay where they are. End of the over.
O'Neill Harris. Oh, sorry.
Time for a change.
Have we completed 5?
Yes.
Lordy, where did that go? Well, I think I could take my leave for a wee while then.
See ya.
It's me and Andy are back, and Nessa stays on.
Yeah.
I'm ball by balling, so it's good to have you out. That was a no ball because didn't the keeper take the bails and they gave it before the ball was delivered? I thought.
Just now.
Yeah.
Really,
and
that is a no ball if you take it in front of the stump.
Yeah, I think that's what happened because I saw when he went back to play the shot. I thought I saw the bails light up, and they were putting them back on afterwards. So I think that's what happened.
Bit presumptuous of it.
Every method of no ball is a free hit now in T20.
Yeah.
I think.
I keep saying free hits in fucking test matches. That'd be fun.
No. Michael Henderson had to say about that.
Well, he didn't like the idea, funnily enough. Cut out over point. Down to the point boundary. And it's going to be 4 more bloody runs.
2 + 2 is our man.
Now, did you hear Harman Farong's prediction from the beginning of the game?
Yeah, he got it almost spot on.
Almost spot on.
What did he say?
What he said, because I was in, it was going to be a really dull game, which looks like it's going to be. And he said it'll be 132 for 7, and it ended up being 131 for 7. He did say they're going to get it for 2 in 17 overs, and you wonder whether he knows something that we don't, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I hope he had some money on it.
Yeah, indeed. That's cut well by Warner. Again, back behind square. He's up and running now. He's got another 4.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary.
I was wondering whether you'd have Kane Williamson up in front of Manish Pandey.
I don't think you should change things too much. I think you should just go out and bat normally in these situations. I think it's the best thing to do. If you get it in your head, we only need 6.5 and over, let's be cautious.
Yeah.
That's when it can go wrong.
No, I was thinking that the last game I saw Sunrisers play, Manish.
Okay. No, I think
sticky.
he's been at number 3 most of the time.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, he was in there, but he got stuck, and I thought, well, Kane Williamson, I'd seen him back quite well earlier in the tournament. I guess it's game by game, isn't it? You can have a good game and a bad game.
Of course, yeah.
43 for 1, Sunrisers after 5.2 overs. Around the wicket is Siraj. And, Jesus Christ. I think it was just defended back to him by Warner, and then he luzzed it at the stumps really hard, and he seemed to hit the stumps. The camera work was really shoddy, so I don't know exactly what happened, but I mean, I'm imagining that the ball hit the stumps, ricocheted somewhere, and they thought about a run.
Yes.
Yeah.
O'Neill Harris is with us. Says, hello gents, great work as usual. And Warren wonders, could Hendo's beard be a Danish minx seeking asylum? They're culling them all, aren't they?
Yeah, they're culling them all.
You can get virus off them.
Yes, and it's a different strain. I tell you what, it's all sci-fi now, you know. We've got Crazy Man, and it's like, that's out. Is that out? No, it's not out. Warner's gone back, and Siraj has followed him. There's a big appeal from behind the stumps.
Kohli's expression mirrors what you just said. He's going, is that out? Is that out?
Well, he's decided to review it. This will be a loss or a keep, or it'll be a loss or an out, really. He's not an LBW. There's going to be no chance of keeping the review if it's wrong. I think they're going up for the catch, caught behind. He has kind of...
Well, you don't have to say what you're going up for.
No, you don't, but it was clearly going down leg side, so it's not going to be LBW. I'm not even... it's hit him outside leg stump. He's nowhere near it. It's come off the back leg. Unless it's grazed the underneath of that glove.
Like desperate looking review.
It is a bit of a desperate looking review. Could have been.
Well, actually, safe to say it's not LBW.
It's certainly not LBW. No, that's what I mean. They're going up for the catch. They've got to be, and I think they thought it caught the inside edge, but it didn't certainly do that. But it might have brushed the underside of the glove.
That's the only way.
That is the only way.
No, what we're saying about the minx is that's a really, really potentially dangerous situation.
He's out.
No, well, let's do this wicket first.
Yes, he is out.
That might be out.
It has brushed indeed.
Is it hitting his knob?
Well, it's difficult to say. It actually looks like
really
it does.
Tough one, actually.
It is. It does look like it's hit the glove there. I think that's in contact with the glove. There is
but
a noise.
It's also gone past his, as Nestle says, his knob at the same time.
Yeah, but
Andy.
you can actually see the glove.
Guerrilla cricket.
Compress a bit there.
But that's a big spike for a glove. The glove spike's not normally as big as that.
Yeah, no, they are. The noises that are made generally of padding are longer, but they're just as loud.
I think they're going to have to give that not out because you can't tell.
I think you could be right, actually, with the rules. It stays with the on-field umpire, doesn't it? He didn't give it out. I think
that's hit the glove.
That's hit the glove, man.
That's
definitely hit the glove.
Coley will explode if this isn't out.
That's hit the glove.
I think it's hit the glove.
It's definitely.
I think
hit the glove.
that left-hand shot is giving you a false view of his peni touching it.
That's got to be out. I say that's out. If I was up in the booth, I'd be giving that out.
Yeah, I am.
I think I would too, but I would not be astonished if it was not out. Put it that way. There is an element of doubt in there.
I mean, when you look at it, yeah, that's out, man. Because the ball's actually, his front leg is behind his back leg, and so at that point there, it hasn't hit his front leg, and it goes on to possibly hit his black leg, but his hands in front of it.
Hasn't hit his front leg?
Yeah, if you looked at the front shot they just showed close up, his front leg is slightly out to the leg, and it goes past the top of the front leg, hits the glove, hits the back leg, and then goes through.
It's a big call. It's Warner.
Well, they're taking an age for it. PayTM better be getting their cash, you know.
I don't mind them taking. You know, it's a big call. There's certainly an odd one. I don't mind them taking their time with this if they get the right decision. If we're sure what that is.
Well, they're going. That front frame was. Yeah, I think it's definitely hit the glove.
The longer it goes on, the more I'm thinking they're going to give it not out because they're not sure.
That tends to happen. Yeah. No, the thing about the minks is that's the real worry. If there is a mutation by going through another animal, it can get worse.
It can get even worse.
The umpire's nodding his head, whatever that means.
No, he's going to turn it over. It's going to be out.
Yep.
That's a big call. It's a big call. It's the right call, though. So says the bear. And you have to say that is out. I need a beer.
It's a strange way to get out.
Well,
99 times out of 100, if you got the inside of the glove on that, it would just go into your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good bowling as well because he went to give himself some space and he followed him a long way as well to cramp him up like that.
To quote another commentator, by the barest of margins.
Well, yeah, by the barest of margins. And Warner's not happy, but 43 for 2, only 5.4 overs gone. An awful lot of time left and not many runs to get.
They're doing okay, and Williamson's in now as solid a pair of hands as you'd want.
Well, exactly. And he's going to get out now. That's the perfect commentator's curse, but I have to agree with you. Let's give him a jingle.
Kane Williamson, Kane Williamson, Kane Williamson, Kane Williamson, Kane Williamson, Kane Williamson.
I would have cut that in half, couldn't I? Right. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread and T20 cricket, he's only got a basic go to run a ball.
Yeah, well, that's
for
the
15
thing.
overs, and he's Kane Williamson.
They've already scored the sort of extra runs they needed, almost. And now it is down to run a ball, and you've just got to be sensible here. And even I would say, maybe not. You don't have to swing for the fence here, but you don't have to let that run rate get any higher. I can't remember who it was. There was definitely one chase that went like this. It might have been Kings 11. I'm sure they were involved. They're always involved in the crazy games.
The crazy gang.
Where someone needed something like this, 85 off 85, and managed not to win. Might have been Delhi, actually.
I don't know. As they said earlier, everything comes in a blur of colours. Can't remember one game from the next. Right. Are we still in that same over? Let's go down the leg side. And has he hit that with a bat? Or has it just come off the pad? I think it's been given as leg
or either way.
Bye. Yeah, it's been given as leg bye. Well, anyway, whatever you say, yeah. Nice. 4 runs, I'm happy with that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Warren says KBW, unless Warner is circumcised, of course. Well, it's still a knob, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Narrow
That
margins
doesn't matter. It's a Raj. It's been a long over, this one. 2 for 19, and comes in, bowls into the hip of Williamson. He just turns it around the corner. He'll get himself a single. And we'll retain a strike. 1 off 2, 48 for 2 after 6 overs. 84 required off 84.
Well, we're going to have a timeout. That's the end of the power play as well. And really the problem is, as I said before, having 4 spinners in the team can work in some scenarios. When you're trying to defend a runner ball, not so much, because you're just going to get milked and milked and milked.
Absolutely. And then it's all going to get frustrating, and then they're going to hit a few 6s and 4s, and it'll be over in 17 overs.
Too hard for a sort of miracle ball. Well, I guess at this point they've just got to get their best spinners on, which is Chahal and Sundar, and see what happens.
Yeah.
Chahal should bowl 4 overs right away because he's their best spinner, and they've just got to hope he can do something.
Yeah, I mean they could get wickets.
In North Carolina here.
The only way, they could slow it down to 7 or 8 and over by taking wickets steadily over the next 4 or 5 overs, and then, as you said in the first innings, when you've got the lesser batsmen in, they don't get the 4s and 6s, and you can get creep back the odd dot, and then you can get
it. It would be a different scenario if they were trying to defend 160 or 170.
But even here, if they get, well, I mean, theoretically, say they get 4 wickets with their spinners in the first 4 overs they bowl, which is highly unlikely.
Well, they probably need something like that.
Yeah, they do.
I know you're just talking about election again. Associated Press have called it.
Yeah. No, well, North Carolina aren't. He's still just winning.
Yeah, I think he's going to win that one. Yeah.
But where I go is all blue. Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Durham, which doesn't surprise me because it's very liberal around there.
Am I looking for cricket on here? Yeah.
But hey ho. So AP have called it.
AP have called the whole thing. Yeah. 5-1 RCB. I don't think I'd be backing that.
5-1. That's a bit skinny.
Yeah.
But hey ho, it's the Seat tyre brake thing, funnily enough. Have we got any tweets?
Let me see. The last one I read was Warren. Farong says maybe the Wern is turning RCB. Few quick wickets would make it interesting, but a run of ball and wickets in hand still favours Sunrisers. What magic can Moeen and Zampa weave, if any?
If any, indeed.
Well, Zampa...
Moeen's in a real sort of bit of a downward spiral.
Yeah, he's a bit.
This in the first innings, he's not having the best time.
His career.
Yeah.
And he had
How old is he now?
He had a dreadful...
30 yet?
Yeah, well, he's 32, isn't he, or something?
Ooh,
oh, older than that. He had a torrid time in the white ball series in England, didn't he, when he was captain for a while when Morgan wasn't playing, or vice captain.
Well, you can have a longer run of bad form when you're 25 and when you're 32. That's
true.
just how it works.
And then when he went back,
I'm surprised by this. It's going to be Zampa.
No, it is indeed. Well, let's see if we can find a jingle for him. Here he is.
The enemies of the mighty fear many.
It's Zampa. His first ball is just a leg break, defended out the offside by Williamson. There's no run.
They fear Adam Zampa.
What?
I wouldn't.
Still got that horrible mullet.
Yeah, well, it's grown back, hasn't it? Didn't he kind of got rid of it for a while and looked more sensible, and now he just looks like, shame. That's defended out the offside and there's no run. He looks so archetypal Aussie, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Got a surfboard down at Bondi. Sorry if I'm offending our Australian friends.
Cultural stereotypes.
Absolutely. That's the cart on the back foot. And played out to cover and there's no run. You can give it as good as we give. I don't mind.
Absolutely. Well, got 3 dot balls in.
He did indeed.
He's got tight field on the offside. He's just tried to spin it away outside off stump and not give any singles and try to build some pressure. I think the sweep is going to come out fairly soon.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me from our man Williamson. It's a good ball. He's giving a bit of air. He's not bowling it particularly flat, is he? Which maybe it's a risk, but it's paying off so far. Another dot ball, just defended. There's no run. God. Warner looks, yeah. The tash has got bigger as the competition's gone on.
Well, it is Movember, but still no excuse.
Yeah, I agree. Flighted again, just dropped into the offside, wide enough of cover that they can get through for a single this time. Managed Pandy will take strike, 22 of 15, 49 for 2. Last ball of the 7th over.
Well, maybe they're just going to go leg spinners from both ends. Chahal and the other one.
Might as well. You've got to jam this game up something rotten, haven't you? And take wickets at the same time and do something. It's, you know, it's either that or you're out. So, thrown up again, and Manish Pandey tries to drive it and almost yorked himself, or maybe he did. Played it slightly outside the ball. Through to the keeper, no run. Only 1 run off the over. That's kind of what they need to do. 49 for 2.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Warren says, what price the bear becoming a newscaster in the US? I could do with 4 years of boring.
Damn, I'm not taking this everywhere, you know. It's only the IPL this works with. Everything else I do is really exciting, Warren. Really exciting.
You didn't commentate during the World Cup, did you?
No, that's because I was at the World Cup.
On the road. Did you get paid for that in the end?
I did get paid for it. They ended up owing me 800 quid, which they still fucking owe me. The guy's such a shark.
Probably just take that as a win anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly. At one point, I was about 3.5 grand in a hole, paying for fucking production costs. It was a joke.
Ooh, I called one right.
Yes, you did. It's going to be Chahal is going to come on from the other end, and he's got a jingle that I'll play after his first ball. First ball is a full toss, which is driven by Williamson up to long on, and there's a single. Sounds a bit like this.
Knowing me, knowing you, there is nothing we can do. Knowing me, knowing you.
Yeah. Looking back at that replay of Warner getting out as well, he watched it go through the keeper, didn't he? He wasn't sure. But he might have had a thought about it, because he certainly looked back and watched the ball into the keeper's hands. Chahal is in. Second ball of the over. It's cut by Pandey down to deep extra cover, and they'll get a single.
He's got to consider himself unlucky, really. I mean, it's quite bizarre.
Yeah. It's a bizarre way to get out.
Wicket.
Yes.
Good bit of bowling to follow him, and you know, he certainly cramped him for room.
Well, he just protected his knob, wasn't he?
Yeah, possibly. Williamson goes back, punches that out to the cover boundary. There'll be a single. And he moves on to 23 off 17.
Who else have they got to come in? I know Garg is in waiting in the wings. It's okay.
Driven at by
Garg,
Pandey.
Holder, Samad, Rashid Khan. Yeah.
They've got some hitters down there, haven't they?
Yep.
You'd say that Holder's, you know, a bit more than the hitter actually. He's a decent bat, and can hit it an awful long way. That was just played back to the bowler, no run. Tossed up a little bit. Pandey pushes it back just past the diving Chahal in his follow through, and we'll get a single up to long off. 4 off the over so far. Who is more important to their side, Chahal or Rashid? Pointless IPL question for you.
Well, it is a bit. For a start, Rashid's better, so probably him.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably true. Kane Williamson is facing up 3 off 9. He won't be bothered about that. He'll just say, I can get this home. Get myself a nice Redinker. Oh, fuck. Who's that? My wife's calling me. Can you take over?
Sure. Chahal is into Williamson off the back foot. Wide of point is going to be a fairly comfortable single to the edge of the circle. It's 54 for 2 off 8. 78 moving off 12 overs. What's on social media?
Not a lot, but just a tweet from Duncan Jones, David Bowie's son. The Biden campaign threatens to escort Trump out of the White House. Democrats' campaign refers to president as a trespasser as election victory nears.
I saw that one. They don't want to get too cocky. Quite official. Yeah. But I keep saying every day they are spending contesting and doing lawsuits and arguing is a day less. They can just settle in and fuck everyone up with the rest of their administration.
I'm back. Zampa in bowls, and Williamson just pumps that up to long on. A little timing, but it's a single. 77 required off 71.
Blimey. The rhetoric is getting quite intense. Pelosi's called Biden president-elect and President Trump a domestic enemy.
Yeah, it's sing when you're winning.
Oh.
And they've been taking it.
No one likes a chirper.
Yeah, they've been
Well, no one
taking it
likes
for
Pelosi
4 years,
anyway.
haven't they? So into the leg side, aims a drive at that man is Pandy. Inside half of the bat, goes to short mid wicket, no run.
Chirping chips, we used to call it in poker. Guys who had a lot to say when they had a big stack and went a bit quiet
when they didn't. Right, yeah, but I mean, that's out.
Was out.
It's got to be out. Yes, it is. Manish Pandey has gone back to cut that. He basically lost a little bit of balance and left his bat out there. Played it slightly over the ball, I think, got an under edge, and it's been taken by the keeper. And suddenly things get a little bit more interesting. 55 for 3. I'd still fancy Williamson to be able to take this home on his own, no matter who's at the other end in a T20. But another wicket falls. Let's give them a send-off.
Toes back. This is the danger. You just get a little bit out of the normal game because you don't need such a high run rate, and you kind of go prod, swish. Oh, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly.
21 from Pandey is kind of okay in the circumstances. Gog.
And he has a jingle. If I can find him. Priam Garg sounds like this.
That's him.
Short but sweet.
Yep.
Like his name.
Appropriate style of jingle.
And what do we know about Garg?
He's got a great name. That's about it. No, he has scored a 50 off quite quickly in one of the games this season, but I don't think apart from that he's done a great deal. At times he hasn't had to because the top order have been scoring runs. But yeah, young player in his first season.
Well, he's facing up to Zampa. He tosses it up outside of the stump, has a little drive at it, and mistimes it. Straight back to the bowler. He palms it off to cover, and there ain't no run.
Ryan Barish has got a slightly different take on the chirper. He says, yeah, they've been chirping and screaming all about other stuff. They're getting a taste of their own medicine. Shut up and take it.
Yeah, that's what leads to civil war, man. Tossed up. Oh, I don't know if it was a googly or just played outside it. I don't think it was a googly, but let's have a look. No, that's the replay. Oh yeah, toe ended
right on the bottom of his bat, right on the
Pandy.
bottom of AB's gloves. Just grabbed
just about managed to hold on. Yeah, I'm not sure if Garg picked that or just played outside it. Propped
It's
up on
getting
the
a bit
onside.
more interesting.
It is getting a little bit more interesting. Still plenty of time, not many runs to get, but another ball on a decent line outside off stump. Bit short, but Garg just goes back, defends it out to cover. No run. End on a 9th over. 77 required off 66. 11 over?
Well,
no, not 11 over.
Zampa's confounded us all. He's taken 1 for 2 off 2 overs. But again, I just think there's a little bit of tentativeness from the batsman in the way they're playing him. Williamson pretty much blocked out an over, and he's still there. But yeah, just a little bit of jitters in the Sunrisers at the moment.
You get another wicket goes, and then it doesn't matter who you are, you start to go, oh shit, hang on.
Yeah, you thought this guy had this game won half an hour ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it can all go horribly wrong from there. Williamson plays that out through the covers to the man sweeping on the boundary. Comes in, throws in. It'll only be a single.
I'm not a fan of the term choke in sports, but it's kind of like, it's nerves and doubt more than anything else.
Yes. Well, I think that's what everyone means by choking, though, isn't it?
Well, sure, it's a form of kind of panic in some ways. It's freezing. Sometimes it's freeze, sometimes it's flight. It's just getting out of your normal headspace because of the pressure of the situation.
Yeah, and your concentration goes,
Yeah, you're thinking about the future. Isn't it going to be great if we win this? Isn't it going to be terrible?
Yeah, exactly. Rather than that ball's on a length outside our stance, smash it.
Yes, exactly.
He gets turned a little bit there, does Garg. Thinks about turning it into the leg side, gets a stick outside leading edge, all on the ground to cover, no run.
One of the worst sports for that is it must be golf, because you'd be standing there on the tee, beautiful, great big fairway, and all you can see in front of you is out of bounds and hedge. And where'd you hit it?
Yeah, Garg defends it out to cover. They're getting a bit shell-like here.
Yes, a bit too much. Me,
it's a T20. There's plenty of gaps. You just got to, if you want to, you don't have to get a lot. You want to play yourself in. Play yourself in with singles and ones.
Again,
twos.
I'm a bit surprised we haven't seen a sweep from anybody yet. Can be a good release shot.
Chahal is in, bowls. Slightly slingier ball. Very full, driven by Garg nicely. Should get 2 for that, and they do indeed. 1 ball left in the over, I think. Maybe 2.
We've got a change at the end of this.
Yeah, we do. It's Andy taking over ball by ball. Tony and Hendo are back as well. And then it's Hendo, Nestlers and me for the last 5. Well, it could be good if it's a low scoring humdinger. I'll be happy. They're usually pretty good, tight games. Exciting. Defender back to the bowler, no run. 1 ball left in the over.
My neighbour's cat is glad because she's just come in and I think wants to be fed. Just 1 ball, Moggy, 1 ball.
Yeah, then you can chill. Last ball of my spell. I think it might have been a little googly, but it's thrown up very wide by Chahal. Garg went back, cut it. It went through the fielder at point, and they'll get back for 2. So that was 5 off that over. It's not the worst result, I suppose, when you're chasing a low score. Garg moves on to 4 off 8. I'm out of here. So is Nestlers, and Tony and Hendo are back. See you shortly.
Tony, it's Leia's tweet is next. I'll see you for the last
you
knocking.
You can do now if you'd like.
I can do that. Leia's just saying I'm back. Was able to cut the family Zoom meeting short. Oh, well, we're flattered that you felt the need to say goodbye to the family, and I must get back. RCB and the Sunrisers.
Exactly.
It's far more important. Cricket's thicker than water, or whatever the expression is. Hendo's looming in curious
darkness,
bathed in sort of strange glow there.
It's what I'm going to lure you in with when I've started my cult. That sort of light.
Okay, Zampa is going to continue, and I think that's the right move, and that turns past the outside edge. I thought got an edge on that for a second, and I think good move, Hendo. These leg spinners are keeping the control on. Just back them all the way for 4 overs.
Well, I think so, and obviously they're going to have the utmost respect for someone like Chahal because his record is very good.
I mean, I think they do have to put their eggs in this basket. And Sunrise will just be thinking, well, we get these 25 of these 4 overs as that one's played out to mid-wicket. Then they can go back with Moeen and Sundar.
Yeah, I mean, are we going to see Moeen? I'm not sure we will. I'm not sure we will. It doesn't seem to be his lucky year, I'm afraid to say. So maybe they just keep him out in the field somewhere.
That's going to be a wide, surely, down the leg side. Was meant to turn, it didn't. So Williamson faces up again. That's tossed up on leg stump and is pushed up to long on for another single. 62 for 3, 70 needed off 57. Neither of these batsmen seem overly panicked. Williamson 7 off 15, Garg 4 off 8. But I wonder if either one will open their shoulders.
Average is nearly 70 in first-class cricket, Garg.
Yeah. Zampa
only in 12 matches.
Shorter ball, but it's only punched back to the bowler for no run. Zampa 1 for 4 off 2.4. I mean, he's come on in a situation where the batsmen haven't been aggressive, but he's still done his job. As we look at that rotating gold IPL trophy. Tossed up and punched through cover now. He might get runs for that. Fielders, no. Fielders come round and should keep it to 2. Does. That's the more gold than you'll see in the stadium unless Jofra Archer is playing.
He's only 19. He's coming up to 20 years, Priyam Garg. He'll be 20 the end of the month. As you say, he has got a very good first-class record and a pretty decent List A record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does.
Last ball of the over, and that's defended. 4 more of that over. Yeah, just keeping it interesting here. 64 for 3 off 11. 68 needed off 54.
You look at what's to come for the Sunrisers. I suppose the outstanding figure you see lower down the order is someone like Jason Holder, who hasn't done a lot of batting in this tournament.
I think he had a knock a couple of games ago.
He did. Well. He got 28 off about 10 balls, I think it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got that ability. And of course, Rashid Khan is a much better batsman than people probably give him credit for. So it's going to be still really difficult for the RCBs here. But if they could just winkle out Williamson and just getting rid of a big name, that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Well, they've got 3 more overs of leg spin up their sleeve, and I think they are going to continue with Chahal. Yes, they are. Just trying to weave this web. Try to get some run rate pressure on the batsman.
Yeah, just if you do lose a couple of quick wickets, it just makes
if they lost a wicket or 2
nervous.
now, it would start to look awkward. Yes.
Yep.
So in comes Chahal, short run up, tossed up, leg spinner, and punched up to long on. Be an easy single.
The thing you feel about Williamson is he's playing, a relatively quiet knock at the moment, but you always feel that he knows the right time to lift his game a little bit.
Yes, he's definitely playing within himself at the moment. And Garg's back on strike, and he comes down the track a little bit of intent there, punched out towards deep cover. He's quite wide, so that should be another single.
Yeah, and he came down the wicket. He didn't try to hit the cover off it, did he? Having got there, he just guided it quite nicely through the covers. He got into a very good position to be able to play that. He wasn't reaching for it.
Got a higher score of 51 not out, hasn't he, this IPL, as Priyam
that was
Garg?
quite a quick 50. That's the one I was referring to. Williamson punches that up to long off for another single.
Strike rate of 130 overall.
How many total runs?
In this IPL, 109.
Yeah, not too many apart from that 50.
Yeah,
I guess
true.
I guess a lot of it depends on where you're batting,
Sure,
and
how many balls you
your
get.
team's in. Yeah, exactly.
3 singles so far of this over. Look for 4th ball, and that's shipped up to a very, very short mid wicket. In fact, only bounced a couple of yards in front of them, and Garg's making the international sign for that bounced on me a little bit.
He's been almost an ever-present. He may not have batted in every game, but he's played 12 of the. Well, this would be the 15th game, won't it?
Pretty good for a new player in the team. Tossed up, and he has a go at that one. It's up in the air. I think he's in trouble. Yes, he is, and he's going to be out. Zampa's taken the catch, lost his hat, held the ball. That's the important thing. And Garg, unfortunately, that's what he didn't want to do. As soon as he played a shot, he was out. And a difficult shot to try to pull off for your first big shot.
Yeah, well, that one, it was kind of diametrically opposed to the previous delivery where he came down the wicket. He didn't actually. He tried to play that from the crease, didn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't actually come down to it at all, and in the end, he was stretching for it. It turned a little bit, and he wasn't in full control.
Well, I think Zampa came dangerously close to dropping it as well. When you look at that,
was a bit of a gut catch.
It seems to go through his fingers and landed in his gut. I wonder if they have an IPL mullet, a mullet of the IPL award.
Well,
wouldn't it be between Zampa and Dale Steyn for that one at the moment?
Oh, Dale Steyn's is a shocker.
Oh, it's awful.
It is a shocker.
They have to take the silver medal for that one.
Leah, by the way, says, I'm sorry to inform Gorilla Hendo that I'm not able to join his cult, as I've already sold my soul to Gerard Kimber, as evidenced by my Twitter bio. Sorry, Hendo.
Well, it's not the first time I've been usurped by Kimber, has to be said.
Indeed. Well, not in the collection of souls previously.
Harvesting. The harvesting of souls.
Yeah.
The Gorilla Cricket.
I just think if your soul was harvested by Jared Kimber, he'd give you a speech about it. It was quite interesting, but could have been half the length.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it is Jason Holder's come to the crease. We should jingle him up.
Jason Holder. Jason Holder.
Chahal is into Williamson because, of course, they crossed. All that ball's in the air. He punches up to long off for a single. It's the end of the over. He's 64 off 8 now. 8 and over. 4 wickets down. It's not over.
Well, I do think one more wicket here will make it incredibly interesting. We did see the comparison of scores earlier in the over, and I think RCB had lost one more wicket at this stage, but there wasn't much difference in the scores.
No, indeed, and I think they've since then was the dismissal of, we can say it one more time, Garg.
I can tell you our friends at Winviz have the Sunrisers at 69% and the RCB at 31%, and as ever the tie at 1%, which will be on their tombstone when they finally shuffle off this mortal coil. It will say Winviz tie 1%.
Well, the betting markets have it much more even, with Sunrisers only slight favourites, and that's how I would call it at the moment. Looks like we're going to see Moen. I'm a bit surprised.
Hey!
Spin was working well.
Not so sure about the off spin.
Well, just why change it? I mean, to get that one more wicket, to put that one more bit of pressure on.
Yeah.
Not sure if we're jingling, but it's coming in. It's a poor ball short. And he's probably got away with it out to deep square. Should pick up 2 comfortably enough. Kohli with the expansive piece of fielding.
Yeah, I'm not even sure Kohli needed to do that. If he'd let the other guy coming round from square leg pick that up, they might not have got the second run. By the time he got there, he went on a sort of protracted slide on the ground, which took a while to come out of, and they got through for the second.
Yes, a bit of me from the captain there.
Bit of showboating.
Yeah, that's a better ball. It's defended by Williamson. No run.
Yeah, that was a nice one, wasn't it? That was nicely pitched by Moen. A little bit of drift as well.
You feel like Moen needs to do something really spectacular just to somehow get his own faith in himself back. Just seems to have had a rotten period of cricket recently, doesn't he?
That one beats the bat. Williams steps away to cut, but I think it goes over the bat, and good so far from Moen. Williamson is got to be playing on his mind a little bit. If I get out now, I'll have done 12 off 22 and really hurt my team. But you're out there now and you've got to score 8 and over, so that one's back to the bowler for no run. I'm not sure about Williamson here.
Well, that may take us back to the question. I mean, if for example, Sunrisers did fail to win here, and Williamson doesn't go on to make a decent score, you come back to the argument of your overseas player, don't you, and whether Bairstow would have been the man to go for.
Well, he wouldn't have died wondering, Johnny B, would he? He'd have cracked on.
Yeah.
And if you crack on as an opener and get out, you have good days and bad days. But if you come in a bit later on down the order and you don't get on with it, I mean, look at CSK and Dhoni this year and some of the odd chases that he's been involved in.
That one is just worked up to long on by Williamson. Be another single.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, you can be all or nothing in this form of the game. I was looking at Shikhar Dhawan's record, and you know that he's hit 200s in successive matches. He hit 3 more 50s, and he's also had 4 ducks.
Yeah,
it's incredible, really.
He was made to look like a novice by Bumrah yesterday.
Oh, a lovely ball, wasn't it? A lovely ball.
But the way he played it, he's like pulled his foot out of the way, like he's scared of getting hit on the foot. Mind you, I wouldn't like to face a Yorker from Jasper.
The old toe crusher, yeah.
Holder is now on strike, and he's played a nice, easy shot up to long off. He picks up a single. Good over from Moen. Just the 4 off it, and that run rate keeps ticking off. 60 needed off 7 overs.
Yeah, it does. Elixir of Azazel. Elixir of Azazel says, why are the Sunrisers batting so slow?
Good question.
Do they think this is the Nevada Premier League? Leah says, I have to admit Hendo would make a compelling Dark Souls boss. The currency in those games are souls you have to collect. Farong says, after watching adverts promoting the UAE Expo over the past 6 months, saying they have everything there, is a Hendo the Almighty statue needed to fulfill the requirements, perhaps next to the UFO stand? Of having everything, Williamson gets interesting. Yes, it does.
I am hoping to have a temple of my own at some point.
Temple of Doom.
A temple of your own. My body is a temple.
Well,
take your shoes off. Take your shoes off. Anyone's allowed in.
That's certainly not true. I'm afraid to say. Yeah, we're going to get Sundar back into the attack. I don't think this is a bad call, actually. He went for 12 off his first over, but that was when more attack-minded batsmen were at the crease. So I think this is a good idea. Get the other off-spinner in, although I wouldn't leave it for too long. What Zampa's got? He's only got one.
Yeah,
Chahal has
got one each.
Yeah. But we now have an extra bowler, effectively. I mean, even if you only bowl Moen at that 1 over, he's done a good job.
Well, they can bowl spin all the way from here if they want to. They've got enough up their sleeves. So here comes Sundar to Holder. It's short, a bit quicker than what we've seen from the other bowlers, and that's played down to mid-wicket for no run.
He's a good bowler, Sundar. I mean, he's better than a man going at 12 runs and over. Yeah, definitely.
And you get the sense that Sunrisers are starting to need a big over. When are they going to try to go for that? Sundar's in again, twirls his arm around, length ball, punched by Holder. Kohli is down, saves the run.
It's curious action of Washington Sundar, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of movement before he gets into his delivery stride. His arms are very wristy and sort of wiggling back and forward. There he goes. That's short, and Holder has picked it up. Has he got enough on that one? In fact, he didn't have enough. Kohli, for what is not in 2 places at once. He's actually out deep mid-wicket. And Holder didn't get hold of that. Good job for him. Kohli ran in, couldn't quite get there.
My favourite ever spin bowler's action was a chap called Fred Swarbrook. He used to play for Derbyshire. If you ever look him up, it used to be like
footage
rocking
of
a
him
baby.
on YouTube.
Yeah, you should find something. His bowling, his approach to the crease used to be like rocking a baby, as he did that 3 or 4 times. It was just quite mesmerising.
Perhaps that was the plan. Punched out to cover, and that's going to be another dot ball. Sunrisers are letting this pressure ratchet up. Williamson 13 off 24.
What's that run rate doing?
Run rate's past 9, yeah.
Yeah, it is. 9.31. They're only going at a shade over 5 at the moment.
I think they're in danger of making a bit of an arse of this, technical term. But Williamson has slog swept that one just to confound me. 6 runs into the scoreboard. He had to do that sooner or later. Executed it very well. Yeah, much needed, Hendo.
Yeah, it was. But I've kind of got belief that Williamson can do this. He can be quite slow, but you always feel like he's got it under control. And that's it. He doesn't actually give it away that often, even when he may be struggling a little bit. I don't think he's struggling. I think the bowling's been quite good.
Yeah.
And they've determined that they weren't going to lose wickets initially. I think that's the way they approached it. They did need that, and just to remind RCB that they've got those shots in their locker.
In fact, we saw Kohli as the voice of calm there, just a universal calm down gesture for once. That was a little bit out of the front of the hands. A good shot by Williamson. He's cut it between the 2 men behind point. It's not going to go for 4. They're going to pick up another 2, and that was 9 off the over, which is more or less what they need. 81 for 4. They need 51 off 6 overs.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're still in the driving seat.
Yes.
I'd be inclined to take Moen off after that 1 over and give it back to Chahal.
Yep.
Because I think they do need another wicket here. Moen, often we've seen him start reasonably well and then he'll go for a few. I'd take him out of the attack straight away.
Wobble seam El Chopanos says, well, hello there, you lovely, gentle gorillas. Leah said, the body's a temple, a shoddy construction. I'm digging my grave while boring the well. I'm paving a path of my own self-destruction. I won't be content till I see me in hell.
Oh, blimey.
That's rather dark, isn't it? Skyclad building a ruin is the source for that.
Or a poem.
Well, we are going to get leg spin.
Like a song, yes, but it's going to be Zampa. 3 overs, 1 for 6.
Mullet man.
Which is a great return for him so far. But he's got now 2 batsmen who might open their shoulders and try to put him straight over his head. See what Holder's going to do. He flicks it into the leg side. He's taken the pace off it. They might get 2 there. They think they should have done. The 2 fielders rather ran into each other. I would have liked to see a bit more intent from the batsman.
Was that Cody getting in someone's way again, or was that?
I don't think so.
Okay. But again, it looked like there was no decision as to which fielder was actually going to pick it up, and neither of them did initially.
Much communication. Just a single then. Williamson's back on strike, and he clips that one up towards long on, and that will be an easy single.
Mog says hello, by the way.
Ah, Moggy.
Hi to Mog. Joined us from deepest, darkest Melbourne.
Oh, everywhere's pretty deep and dark at the moment. Where is the sun out?
Wobble Seam says, Tony, it was mesmerising, all right. Talking about Holder thought.
Oh, it's up in the air, but it's to no one. It would have been the simplest of catch to a man on the edge of the circle at mid-off, but he wasn't there. So it's chipped up to Moan for another single, but I don't think that was what Jason Holder intended.
No, that was a much quicker ball, and I think that surprised him a little bit, which is why he chipped it up in the air, but unfortunately there was no one in an orthodox mid-off position, so it was a very easy single.
Now is Williamson going to open his shoulders again? Zampa is in. Kind of. He does play a sort of sweep out to mid-wicket, but it's all along the ground, and it's just a single. 47 of 32.
Yeah.
Do you think these low scores are justified by the wickets?
I think the bowling's been pretty good today.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Zampa again, and Holder goes back and tips into leg side. Better intent this time, and I thought they would get back for 2, and again they could have done. Fielder didn't pick it up, so maybe the communication is not the best between Williamson and Holder. 5 singles so far off this over.
Which is fine if you then supplement it with a boundary. Really.
Yes. Yeah. It's 6 off. They need 9 and over. So
yeah.
That is almost exactly the requirement. Zampa comes in to complete his spell to Williamson. He just tips it into the leg side. Again, a chance of 2. The Holder's not the quickest. Just the 1. Great figures for Zampa. 1 for 12 of his 4 overs. I am out of here for today, but I will be staying online just to see who wins this interesting game.
Unlike an Indo, not going straight to bed.
Not yet. I've got an hour or 2.
I will be saying my leave, taking my leave as well. I'll just finish that Wobble Seam tweet though, seeing as it was sort of to me. Tony, it was mesmerising all right for everyone except for the said baby, I suppose. I'm now going to go away and see if I can find some film of Fred Swarbrick's wonderful baby rock in action and love you and leave you.
I did just look and I couldn't find anything. It said it was something, but it turned out to be Fred Truman.
Somewhat different.
Somewhat different from Fred Swarbrick.
Anyway, love you and leave you.
Well, here we go.
Tony. Thanks to Tony. Thanks to Andy. It'll be me, Gorilla Hendo. It'll be Nestle Boy, and it'll be the Bear to take you through the end of this match. And we are going to see another change in the bowling. Washington Sunder just a spell of 1 over. And Jahal, who has a final over of leg spin to bowl, is going to bowl it now. They're going to throw their eggs into his basket and hope that he can pick up one of these experienced cricketers in the form of Williamson and Jason Holder. Now, what's Virat Kohli doing? He's running somewhere.
He's legged it.
Is he running off?
He's going to interfere with a player. Seems to be doing a lot of that out in the deep. It's going to get exciting. Let's see where the bookies are at. The bookies had it pretty much evens not that long ago.
Really?
Yeah, they've now got. So they've got Bangalore at 13-8. I guess it all holds out on Williamson, doesn't it?
Yep, Chahal bowls one that goes straight through. And it's forced off the back foot by Williamson up to long on. That's the easiest of singles. And we're just looking at the road to the final. Of course, the winner of this goes to Sunday's game, takes on the Delhi Capitals in the second qualifier. And then, of course, the winner of that will join Mumbai Indians in the final. Mumbai leading the way in the league, then by winning that game against Delhi yesterday. They are already happily in that final. In comes Chahal, bowls to Holder. Holder waits for it, tries to guide it square and shouldn't really have got a run there. But a misfield allows him to come through a single. Won't have pleased Captain Kohli, but one more is taken. Maybe the dew having some impact there, and the fielder just slipping as he went down to backward point to field that.
See, 43 off 28 they really should get though, shouldn't they?
I think they should get this. I think these two players at the crease, unless one of them does something stupid, and I don't think these are players that do stupid things generally. These two, they're quite well balanced, aren't they, in that respect? He's in, bowls to Williamson. It's right up in the block hole. He squeezes it out up to long on. Cody comes racing in, hurls it on the bounce to De Villiers behind the stumps. Not sure that was completely necessary, but
I saw Holder hit one of the biggest sixes of the World Cup the other year as well at Nottingham. He fucking lamped it, man. He's a big lad. Hits it
he's a
long way.
And difficult for a spinner because he's got a bigger reach than your average batsman. He's in. He throws that one way up outside off stump. He aims a big booming drive at that, and it was just inside the line of the guidance for the wide, and so he gets away with it. Chahal, I don't think that's a bad idea actually, because if you've got someone like Holder aiming everything at it, if you can get it low on the bat or on the toe, you've got a chance. He's in again and breaks this quite fluently, but only a single up to long off. 91 for 4.
I think
26-31. Holder 7 from 10.
He got away with that. That should have been a wide. It's only because Holder's got such a long reach, but actually it pitched outside the wide line and went further, even though he drove at it.
Well, here's Chahal again, and this time Williamson's not ready. Just goes for a little bit of a walk. 4 runs from the 5 balls of this over, so they might need the big hit. It might go for the big 6 or the 4, but if he can keep it down to anything out less, he'll be happy, and he can't. And Williamson picks this one up off leg stump. Lovely slog sweep. It went quite flat, it went long, and it went for 6.
He's a class batsman, Kane Williamson.
He does. He just seems to be in control of it. He doesn't panic, does he?
No, never does.
I mean, he's not the biggest hitter in the world, but he can clear the ropes, and when he tries, he normally does. To be fair, he doesn't try to hit every ball out of the ground, but when he picks on the right one, it goes a long way.
And that was another game actually at the World Cup when they beat South Africa, and it was a low score. South Africa got about 230 or something, and it was a tricky wicket at Edgbaston, and Kane Williamson got a ton and hit 6 in the last over to win the game, and you just knew he was in total control of the whole thing the whole way.
Yeah,
he's a real class act. He had a really good innings in a losing cause earlier. A couple of games ago we were doing Hendo, didn't he? Got 50 odd. Whilst all around him looked like they didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. When you talk about whether you pick him or Johnny Bairstow as the batsman, you look at Johnny Bairstow and you think he's probably generally got a higher strike rate, although not necessarily in this particular tournament. But you don't feel as if he's got the control that Williamson has.
No, not at all.
Who knows what he can do and knows when to do it. With Bairstow, it's much more instinctive, isn't it? It's just playing shots. And with Williamson, it's much more considered, I think, is the word.
Yeah, I think so. He knows exactly where the field is, where he wants to play his shots. He's not a massive 6 hitter a lot of the time, though he's just hit 2, hasn't he? But he's a great placer of the ball, and he's much, he's that root mould. Or Cody plays like that as well. Cody's not a massive 6 hitter at all. He's a good manipulator of the ball, but finding the gaps and getting it to the boundary for 4s is just as good, man.
Mog is with us.
Yep. And Williamson. Okay.
I was going to say, it's glorious 4 a.m. here, and what better thing to do than listen to some cricket?
Wow, what's going on in Melbourne?
4 a.m. or have you just got in?
Listening to the cricket. El
Well, yeah.
Chopanos says stop the run count now, maybe. And Alexia Vazel says Coley alleges run fraud. Every time we are leading, suspicious boundaries appear magically for SRH.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Those 5 balls only went for 4 runs, and then that last one goes for 6. What's going on? What is going on in cricket? I don't understand.
They're finding sixes from I don't know where.
Well, they probably sent them a few weeks ago,
Absolutely.
by mail, and they're arriving right at the end of each over, and being deposited. Anyway, that's the end of the strategic timeout, so we can stop wibbling nonsense. Well, no, we won't stop wibbling nonsense. We'll retain our
The whole basis of the thing, isn't it?
the program, really.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to get a change of bowling. We're going to see Shivam Doob coming into the attack. Medium pacer, I think, not a spinner, but we shall see. Holder retakes his guard. Have you got a jingle for Doob?
We do have a jingle for Doob.
Yeah.
Is he in the overspill?
Where's
No, he's
Zoob?
not. Shivan Doob.
Zoob and Doob.
We should use the old Zooby Zooby Zoob jingle and call it Dooby Dooby Doo.
It's gone now.
Right buff, really, he's hitting sixes, not making duck eggs. So take this guy on if you feel like getting clubbed.
It's In the Club by 50 Cent.
Do you ever hear from Zoob?
No.
No, I haven't heard from him for a long time, actually. So in comes Doob, not Zoob. Bowls to Holder right up in the block hole. He digs it out. Gets enough bat on it to dribble it up to long on, who has to come running in a fair way to actually meet it. And they take the one, 98 for 4. 34 required from 23 balls.
You see, that's an over of sixes.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. Just pace yourself, can't you?
Yeah, well, it's, mixture of, you get 6 boundaries in the next 4 overs and it's done, isn't it?
Well, that's right. That's right.
Of any sort, really.
Here he comes again. Bowls to Williamson. Williamson drives crisply through mid-off. There's Moeen Ali fielding in the deep. And they take another single. It's almost as if Williamson is toying with the RCBs. He takes singles. They take singles for those first 4 or 5 balls. And then just when they think they've got a good over, he'll hit the last ball for 6.
Perfect T20 batting, isn't it?
Yeah, well, a good enough batsman can manufacture a shot when he needs to, can't he?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. 99 for 4 is the score. And in comes Doob again. Oh, now this he bowls down the leg side, but because Holder had come right inside the line of that one, it's not going to be a wide. He aimed a drive at it, but made no contact. So a dot ball, very useful at this stage for the RCBs. Then you'll need 33 from 21 deliveries. With 6 wickets in hand, you think that's pretty much in hand.
Yeah, it should
but
be.
We have seen some strange things happen.
Who's to come? Next in.
Well, we've got Rashid Khan to come, and he's always quite good
yeah.
fun. Right up in the block hole again, gets it low on the bat. Can do nothing more than manipulate it up to long on. He now looks at the bat as Holder. They've taken the one. The 100 is up for the Sunrisers. They now need 32. Is it 32 to win? And they have 3.2 overs remaining. It's been a good over so far from Doob. Can he finish it off? Or will Williamson find the big shot that each over seems to need? Here he is again. Bowls. Williamson makes room for himself. Plays a coruscating drive through the offside. Beats the man at extra cover. And he's just toying with RCB Williamson. He goes to 37.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
That's class, man. That's class.
The class is not just in the power of the shot, it's actually in the placement.
Yeah,
He's giving himself a bit of room outside leg stump so that he can free his arms. And Doob obliged by putting it where he wanted it. And he picked it off. 104 for 4. 1 ball remaining of Doob's first and probably last over. He's in goal, and he plays that little deft touch down to the man at short third man. They won't get a single this time. It's the end of the over. 104 for 4. 28 required from 3 overs. More tweets.
Wobble Seam sent a picture of a 3,500-year-old clay pig figurines unearthed in a house at Bronze Age Hillfort in Poland, and he wonders is it just him, or do they actually look like Coley and ABD?
Oh, I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah, I'll have a little.
Things you hear at Gorilla Cricket. He knows what to do, and he knows when to do it. And Mob says, if you did, that's quite true, really. If you didn't wibble, I doubt I'd bother to be awake right now to tune in. And Farong says, with RCB not having any great pace seam bowlers, do you bowl Washington again? Gone for 21 off 2 tonight. Perhaps the worm could turn. I think Coley just answered my question. He says.
Well, does he go back to Siraj? Does he go back to Saini? Well, he's going back to Saini. Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
He has answered your question. He's bowled 2 overs, none for 12.
Interesting.
Tricky one, this.
I imagine Holder would prefer this.
Yes. I think both batsmen prefer a bit of pace on the ball, to be honest. I would have possibly stuck with Washington. It's very difficult to go to Moeen in this situation. He bowled one very good over, but then you're putting a lot of pressure on him when he's hardly played any cricket. So he's going to Saini. He'll be bowling to Jason Holder. He's gone man at deep backward point, deep extra, long on, deep mid wicket, and deep backward square. Those are the men outside the circle. He's coming in now. Bowls to Holder. Holder drives without really timing particularly well out to the deep cover, and they take single. 105 for 4, 27 required off 17. And of course, if they did fail to win this, the Sunrisers, from this position, and they only had 4 wickets down, then there would be some talking, I believe, within the dressing room.
They're all looking a bit nervous in that Sunrisers camp, I have to say.
Not over the line.
No, they're all a bit kind of.
Well, I can't think of anyone, I'd like to have there much more than Kane Williamson, because he does seem to know what he's doing most of the time. Saini is just trying to make a little adjustment to his field. The man maybe at backward point, outside the circle now. He's coming in, striding in. Bowls. Oh, it's a horrible full toss on leg stump. Picked up, but caught, and then is he going to have to come back inside the line? He is. Well, it was a great attempt. He went up right on the edge of the field, did Padikkal, and he threw it back, but he threw it a bit too far, so he couldn't take the catch. He prevented the 6, but he couldn't make the catch. So a good effort from him, but a little bit unlucky. Williamson will take 2 from it, so almost bringing his downfall, or rather poor delivery. Padikkal was way off, and his just balance went. He had to throw it up. He couldn't throw it up, I suppose, straight up as he wanted to, really. And,
needed a mate with him, didn't he?
He did really kind of need someone to come and to clean up for him.
Really good effort, though.
No, it was just a single in the end. So Williamson has gone to 38. Yeah, it was a good effort, really good effort. And he saved 5 runs. In he comes again, bowls to Holder, absolutely smashes that. Chahal spills the ball at extra cover, lets it get away from him, but only for a single. So it's getting tense, getting tight, it's getting slippery. It's damp out there with the dew, and the Sunrisers are on 107 now, needing 132 to win. Looking again at that effort. Coley, not quite sure what he was signaling.
He's saying, why isn't anyone out there helping him?
It's a great effort from the fielder. You shouldn't be criticising him. He's saved 5 runs.
Exactly.
Irrespective of whether he took the catch. Anyway, still keeping those men out in the same positions. Deep backward square, mid wicket, long on, long off, and square deep cover. In again to Williamson. Williamson plays a wonderful shot. He's so good at that. He just waits for it, and at the very last moment, he just puts a little bit of edge from the bat onto the ball. Keeps it incredibly fine, straight through where slip would have been, but no good for the man on the 45. And it's 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Great shot.
Tremendous. We've seen him do it. Saw him do it last year in the World Cup. The control you need for that shot, the lightness of touch you need for that shot, is just phenomenal, and he's well, he may have missed out on the 6 a couple of balls ago, but he's picked up 4 important runs there. 21 required of 14 now. Williamson into the 40s, onto 42 from 37.
Got 2 Test captains out there, haven't we?
We have indeed, yes. He's in again, bowls, and driven square this time by Williamson. They might get back for a second. They will, actually. He got it a square of the man out there on the boundary. And so this is great work from Williamson. He really does seem to know exactly what he's doing. 19 now required from 13 balls. I'm not sure what Kohli can do about this, really.
Not a lot.
A master is in control.
Well, they need to get him out. You know, they need a bit of luck here, don't they? I mean, need them to get on something slightly wrong.
Well, I mean, I suppose that catch, you know, if it hadn't gone quite as far, hadn't been quite as high, he'd have given himself out, got himself out to a bad ball. Final ball of the overs, again after full toss, clipped away through mid-wicket. It'll only be a single. Moeen Ali comes into field, but it does mean that Williamson has grabbed the strike. He's made 45 now, and they need 18 from 2.
Whatever happens, I mean, I don't know, I think you said it earlier maybe, that I just don't want to see Delhi Capitals versus Mumbai Indians again.
Yes, I know.
You know.
Me neither. We've seen quite a bit of that. They haven't been good games, in particular. So, yeah, if Sunrise is going to make it, you'd like to see them there. I would like to see Johnny Bairstow in the team, but I think it's unlikely, especially with this performance now from Williamson. Anyway, he's going to turn to his other paceman. Mohammad Siraj is going to bowl the penultimate over. And he's going to be bowling to Kane Williamson, 45 from 39.
Alexia of Azal is picking up on us. He says things you hear at Guerrilla Cricket. It's getting tight out there. It's damp. It's slippery.
Hey! Yep, this is innuendo. And from all the way from South Wim. Now, what's he going to do with the field here? Siraj is trying to make some changes. So I can't see where people are running to because we've got a close-up on the bowler himself at the moment. He's taken 2 for 19 in his 3 overs, bowled well. But they need him to pick up another wicket or 2 here. Of course, wickets use up balls. That's the other important thing.
Well,
so not only can you get them down to 6 wickets or something, but you've got new batsmen at the crease. But at the moment, Williamson seems totally in charge. 18 required then as Siraj sets off to bowl to Williamson, and Williamson plays a weird shot there, almost a helicopter whip down to the man on the 45 on the leg side. They've run through for a single. Throw came in, but Holder was backing up well enough. 115 for 4. Williamson moves to 46.
Yeah, I thought so. The bails came off. It's a direct hit.
Oh, was it a direct hit?
Yeah, it was a direct hit. But
he's in by miles. He's passed the stumps. That's extraordinary.
PTM needs some advertising.
Yeah, you're right.
There you go.
There we go.
Money.
I'd like to work for them. Not work for them, but be one of their shareholders. Not that I particularly. 5 on the offside, and it runs away for 4. It's a bit of a slog. Got a thick out.
Couple more.
Cleared the front leg. Cleared the front leg. Was looking to go straighter than that. Was a bit surprised to find it went behind him, but it was perfectly safe because it looped well up and over the man inside the circle. 119 for 4. He comes right across this time, drives a foolish ball into the leg side. They're going to hurry back for a second. Holder started the run. The throw comes in, and Williamson was quite right to say, hang on, that's Virat Kohli coming in there. We better not take a second.
Hurled himself at the ball.
9. Holder moves to 16. Williamson 46.
I was thinking just now, Holder's a really good runner between the wickets, but it's not just that. It's like his stride is so long.
Yes, well, he only takes about 5 strides to get the length of the wicket, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But it would have potentially been Williamson coming to that end, but he plays a lovely shot for the next ball. It's the little paddle scoop. Just pulled back, Aaron Finch helps out, and they've got through for 2. Williamson totally in control. He goes to 48. 10 required from 8 balls. That will put the Sunrisers into the second qualifier and playing against Delhi Capitals for the right to face the Mumbai Indians in the final. Mumbai Indians, who've won it last year and have had a very good record in this tournament, and it looks like they could be putting another trophy on their shelf. 122 for 4. Sunrise, of course, coached by Trevor Bayliss. Kohli comes in to have a word with his bowler. Not sure there's anything much that he can say to him apart from get him out. Anyway, looks like it'll be David Warner facing Davey Warner, who not so long ago looked to be out, down and out, and he's right back in it now. Siraj in full bunger, which this time Williamson doesn't hit with any certainty. He was trying to drive that, rather dragged it straight back to the bowler, mistimed it somewhat, closed the face of the bat a little bit. So a dot ball, but probably not one that's going to make that much difference to the outcome of this game.
You've got a chance. If they can get a dot ball here, 10 off 1 over, whilst it should be doable.
You've got a half decent game here.
Yeah, I know. I've got a half decent game,
and no one's going to take it away from you. But it could be Williamson. He plays another little paddle scoop and accepts the single. But having got to the other end, it looked like he fell over as he tried to turn. So they do require, despite the fact that they've only lost 4 wickets, they do require 9 from the final 6 balls.
Who do you bowl?
It'll be Saini, won't it? Or was that Saini?
Let's see what they're saying. Farong says next season juggling coach required for RCB can join the other 30 odd staff the squad's had. Wobbleseen says meanwhile RCB is not too worried because they are leading in Dubai and Sharjah. Yeah, do you bowl Washington again? Farong says earlier. Gone for 21 off 2 tonight.
Yeah, a bit tricky one. I don't think he's going to. Let's see who he's turning to. It's going to be Saini. It's going to be handed the ball. It's obviously quite damp now because he's got that little towel trailing out of the back of his trousers.
First ball a dot ball, then you put the pressure on, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You do. But
a scuffed run single off the second, then you're really starting to get to them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Williamson approaches this, whether he thinks he's got to go for the big shot, the first ball of the over. As they do, well, they will need a boundary, I would think, at the very least. They're not going to run 4 lots of 2 or 5 lots of 2, I wouldn't have thought. So they do have to pierce the field at some point.
There, you've got some excitement.
Well, yes.
You've broken your jinx.
Well, no, I did have some excitement the other day. What was it? Jadeja scored 2 sixes in the last over to win a game.
That was an amazing game. Actually, they got that from nowhere, didn't they?
Yeah, they did go from nowhere.
Yeah, it was when Sam Curran was batting with him.
Yeah.
In comes Saini, bowls to Williamson. Williamson drives. That's probably only going to be the one though. Out to I think Padikal on the cover boundary. 8 required from 5. And Holder to face. He's not really got to grips with this pitch yet. 16 off 17. I would prefer, if I was a Sunrisers fan, to have Williamson facing the next ball, but that is not how it's worked out.
It hasn't, but equally I think, he's got big levers. He might just clap one over the boundary, and that'll be that.
Well, that's yes, that's absolutely true as well. So we will see. A 14th IPL 50 for Kane Williamson. That almost went unnoticed. That single took him to the landmark. And everyone's looking on. Very tense indeed, especially David Warner.
Super over?
Possible, isn't it? Saini in, bowls, and he's aimed a driver and he's beaten by it. It's gone underneath his bat as he aimed the shot at it. So 4 balls to go and 8 runs required. We are going to need at least one big hit.
Super over.
Be going to pull this off at the very last. Amazing stuff.
A boundary and 3 singles. Super over.
Indeed, yes.
I mean, one more dot ball,
and it becomes very tricky. Yeah,
pendulum swings.
Yeah, it's sort of in mid-swing at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're waiting for it to go the whole way. Anyway, Holder's just waiting for the time being, so I guess that 1 or 2 adjustments being made to the field. This is when the captain really earns his corn. And also the bowler bowling the final over. It's Saini coming in to get a live, aggressive bowler. Runs in quickly, bowls quickly. Holder comes across, drives it up towards Holder. Again, there. He's found the gap. Aaron Finch was, well, he didn't have very far to run, but it was really well hit by Holder, and he's picked up 4, and they need 4 from 3.
Tense. There's a little bit of tenseness there. I can actually feel a little bit of tenseness in me. Amazing.
Are you okay on the jingle machine, Bear?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Can you cut a good shot?
A really good hit to find that angle, actually. I mean, you've got the man at long off, you've got a man at sort of extra, just a bit further round towards cover, and there's not a massive gap there. To get that to the boundary, you've got to have the long levers of someone like Jason Holder. Really put everything into that.
No, it's just one boundary now, isn't it? Skew it off the edge down to very fine third man, that'll do.
Yep, 4 required off 3 balls. Will he do it in 1? He's in, bowls, he drives low on the bat, but that may go all the way. There's going to be a man trying to get around there. He's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. The Sunrisers have won the game with 2 balls to spare. They beat the Royal Challengers Bangalore by 6 wickets. Jason Holder, who wasn't even considered good enough to be in the squad at first, was a late call-up, has done brilliantly with ball and now with bat to see the Sunrisers over the line. And again, another IPL season ends ultimately in failure and disappointment for Virat Kohli. Sunrisers win.
Bummer.
Wickets.
What a shame for him, hey?
What a shame. What a shame. So the Sunrisers will go on and face the Delhi Capitals. That will be on Sunday, and we will be bringing you all the action from that game. It'll be hosted by none other than Nakul M. Pandey. I think the Bish will be with you, the Nestlers will be with you, and I think maybe we'll get a little bit more out of Monty this week as well. So we look forward to that on Sunday, and then of course the final where the Mumbai Indians wait for Sunday's winners. That's coming up on Tuesday. Let's have some final tweets, and then we'll say our farewells.
Well, a couple of final tweets from El Chopanons. Says, give us a super over. Sorry, Wolsey, can't have one. And Mog, to end the day, so many cricket US selection jokes. The gift that keeps on giving.
Ah, yes.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
So
that's
and
it.
One last one, sorry. Because she is a prolific tweeter. Leia, animal print enthusiast. Well, that's that.
It is indeed. It is indeed. It was a low-scoring game, but it had a little bit of excitement towards the end as Sunrisers made it difficult for themselves to get over the line. Finally did it with 2 very experienced players out there in the middle. So Davey Warner takes the Sunrisers through. The fists are being pumped as we speak. Virat Kohli can have a little rest before captaining India in Australia. And that's it from us for today. We will be back at, I guess, about 10 minutes to 2. That's GMT on Sunday for the eliminator. Might as well call it a semi-final. Sunrisers v Delhi. Until then, it's goodbye from Nestlers.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from the Bear.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Tony and Andy, who've already said their goodbyes. Goodbye from me, Gorilla Hendo. We'll see you on Sunday.
Bye. The arm's gone.
Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time has come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than red counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao,